Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Backlot Banter, your favorite box office recap show on the entire internet, and box office prediction, I should add, for this particular Tucker marathon of an episode. I'm sure you've seen the runtime on this baby. You know what we're getting into.
Okay, you know what?
That is, of
we
course,
haven't seen the runtime. They actually know more than we do.
They know more than we do at this point, as of right now. But today, we are talking about, the 2025 box office as a whole, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Tanner, Tucker, that's not settled yet. Avatar, people are still going to Pandora, giving their dollars over to the Na'vi people. And yes, we acknowledge this. But also, we wanted to get out ahead of the movie year 2026, sort of compare the slates of the major studios and distributors from last year going into this year. Tucker, I think we should maybe do sort of a letter grade kind of situation for the slate of last year and the slate of this year.
Okay,
how does that strike you?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Sounds fun. But first up, we're going to kind of do a overall recap of the year before we get into the studios in particular.
Yeah, of course.
This is a 3-chapter episode. We're going to do a section that is kind of what we usually do on our monthly videos, which is like, all right, how are things looking? What are the stats like? We'll break down a couple of the openings and totals and things. And then in the middle, we're going to talk about the studios, and we'll close the video out, Tanner, by projecting our top 10 highest grossing domestic movies of 2026. It's going to be a while till we get any of those. But settle in, because it's going to be a long video here. But we'll start off by looking at and this is where our major asterisk comes in, top 10 highest grossing domestic movies of 2025. Avatar Fire and Ash, as we mentioned, is not done doing its gross. But Tanner, why don't you, from number 10 to number 1, give me...
Round it out? Okay.
The top 10.
Okay. Tucker, at number 10, we have How to Train Your Dragon, the live-action remake of the 2010 classic animated film of our childhood.
Yeah.
This film made $263 million at the domestic box office.
That it did.
At number 9, the sole MCU entry on this list.
On either list,
we have... On either list.
Yeah.
Good point. We have Fantastic Four First Steps. The sort of different dimension, no homework attempt from the MCU and Kevin Feige to maybe inject some lifeblood into the universe, into the series, with some new characters, exciting actors, and, a direct tie into the event of Avengers Doomsday, which is coming out at the end of this year.
Yeah. Well, but here's the interesting thing, though. This is our only opportunity, actually, to talk about Marvel in this entire show, because
we'll talk about
we have Disney,
of course.
My bad. You know what? I forgot about that. Number 8, Tanner, be my guest.
Number 8,
please tell me.
Tucker,
be my guest.
What is? I skipped away from the slide. Hang on. Number 8 is Sinners. Hang on. Let me do a quick squiz here. Yes, Tucker. The sole original film on this list, not based on any pre-existing IP or part of a film series. This is Ryan Coogler's sort of grand historic horror opus that will likely be getting several Oscar nominations in a couple of weeks. So we'll be talking about it more, and it'll be top of everybody's minds, probably more so than most films on this list.
And I'm actually just going to do while you go through this, I'm going to quickly look back at the highest grossing movies of the last few years and see if there what the most recent before this original film was. That was in the top grossing.
Okay. So then, technically, Tucker at number 7, but it's not on number 7 as the viewers are looking at this, is technically, as of right now, Avatar Fire and Ash. Now, I put that up to the number 3 spot. We'll talk about it when we get there. But as of as the list that you're looking at, dear viewer, number 7 is Jurassic World Rebirth. Not a whole lot that needs to be said about this. This is a Scarlett Johansson starring Jurassic World entry, sort of a reboot for the series following the Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard trilogy that wrapped up a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
This is presumably launching a new trilogy or series of movies that will follow the characters we got to know here.
Yeah, because they didn't have the fucking balls to kill off any of them.
Exactly. Number 6 is going to be Wicked for Good, obviously the epic conclusion of the Wicked duology. That, was a bit more of a disappointment. We'll talk about that more in specific, but that made $340 million at the domestic box office. Was still quite celebrated and probably brought out more diehard fans than casuals, I would say, than the first film. I think that's maybe what kind of sunk it. Anyway, number 5 is the highest grossing superhero film on this list.
Yes, it is.
One of the first times since like the MCU kicked off that DC has topped a Marvel film at the domestic box office.
Yeah.
This is the launch of the DCU, James Gunn's DCU, Superman.
And so it begins. And ladies and gentlemen, in 2026, Clayface. 2
entries. 2 entries. Count them. 2 entries.
I know, we're not even talking about Supergirl. We're just talking about Clayface. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Clayface.
Clayface, what do you think, Tucker? Number 2 or 3 on the list next year, you think?
I think it'll break the chart. We'll create a new number, Tanner.
Uh-huh.
That's how high.
Number 4 at the domestic box office was Zootopia 2, which was obviously a massive hit over the Thanksgiving season and into December and over Christmas as well. For families, kind of the lone offering for that kind of movie for family audiences this year, or late in 2025. Yeah. $367 million is technically still in theaters, so that number may continue to tick up slightly, but is largely tapped out, but is just making buco insane money overseas. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah. So then at number 3 here, I have Avatar Fire and Ash, which obviously came out most recently on this list. Is tracking right now to earn north of $400 million fairly easily. I put an asterisk, put 420 here, toke it up with my good friends on Pandora, with an asterisk. Because the question really is, and Tucker, you and I hashed this out over text a couple of hours ago before we started recording. Does the final placement of Avatar really impact our discussion here? Well, I would say maybe yes, slightly. Like, if an Avatar movie doesn't make it to number 1 on the domestic highest-grossing films list, that is something to maybe discuss.
That is definitely true.
But if the margin is like $5 to $10 million, is it that big of a deal? Is the other side of that question.
Sure. Well, I mean, one of those is that it's not number 1 for the first time ever. And the first 2 movies are 3 of the highest grossing movies ever. 2 of the 3 highest grossing movies ever. So, yes, but also we already did litigate our feelings on the success level of Fire and Ash, obviously without knowing the total in our December breakdown. So if you want to learn a little bit more about what we think about that movie, not getting to the heights that the first 2 did, because it seemed like that's going to be the case, you can go check out that video. But ultimately, it made a shitload of money, as did the number 1 and 2.
Yes, the very, very similar amounts of money. So Avatar, just to close the book on that, will either end up at like number 3 or, let's be honest, like number 1.
Yeah,
like it probably won't split the like very narrow margin between number 2, Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, there's no way.
Again, a live-action Disney remake, sort of the first film, first American film to cross $1 billion for 2025. I don't know, I don't have a whole lot else to say about that, but at a measly, like, technically kind of less than $200,000 above Lilo and Stitch is a Minecraft movie.
Yeah, it's crazy close.
It's insanely close, so yes, that's why we kind of put, Avatar could be, like, number 3 or number 1. It's kind of the 2 options for it. So, the Minecraft movie, video game adaptation, ultra popular, was like a cultural moment back in April when it came out. Everyone talked about it. So,
but Tanner,
let's move on. Yes,
Minecraft movie was number 1, not hardly because Lilo and Stitch is right behind it.
Yes,
it didn't even make $1 billion worldwide, Tanner. Because if we look at the worldwide top 10 highest grossing movies of the year, starting from the bottom, Superman still on there, hanging around, $616 million, nothing to particularly scoff at. F1 the movie, Tanner. That's that Joseph Kosinski touch, baby.
Mm-hmm. This is the only original film on this list.
Yeah.
Though, Tuck, I want to get your feelings on this. Because every time I hear, box office discussion, the podcast and things I listen to, people are like, oh, F1 technically an original movie. What are your feelings on this? That, like, it is an original movie. It is not part of a film series or based on a pre-existing IP. But it is, like, branded. It is a famous global brand that is attached to this film.
I think there's not a meaningful difference between a brand and an IP.
Fair enough. That's fair enough.
People went to go see this because F1 is a popular and previously established recognizable thing. If this was branded as some exact same movie plot-wise, but it was a fictionalized racing conglomerate, then it would be an original film. You could literally not change almost anything about it, and I would be like, okay, there you go. But F1 is the title of the movie. Big things, exact same logo, obviously, as the actual sport. And so
Yep.
I would say I struggle to say that it is truly original. I think the narrative can be original, but it comes with a pre-established baggage, which is what makes an original film even more impressive to succeed. It's not impressive that this movie succeeded by being an original movie because you didn't go see it because it was an original movie. You went to go see it because it's fucking F1 and obviously Brad Pitt.
Well, I went. Yeah, I was like, a big summer movie tentpole with a famous movie star in it, kind of thing, and good director, racing cars, that kind of thing. I'm not a particular F1 kind of guy, but you're of course right. So good to litigate that here.
Quickly though, I actually do want to talk about, as we were mentioning, the other recent high-grossing original films that have made it into the top 10 domestic this year.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Sound of Freedom is the most recent one.
True.
So that one is just a kind of unambiguous. Oppenheimer and Barbie are both also... Oh, no, sorry. Oppenheimer's definitely not. But Barbie is also one of those, like, kind of questionable ones.
Similar situation to F1.
And then before that, the pandemic had two, in 2020 specifically, Onward and Tenet. Wouldn't have been, but they are on the books. And then before that, it hadn't been since 2016 and Sing and Secret Life of Pets that we had a full-blown original IP that has since become an IP movie. Oh, and Zootopia. Sorry, also 2016. Very good. Very good year for original animated films.
True.
In terms of popularity.
True. Well, Tucker, we have. If you want to continue working through the worldwide, at number 7, we have another animated film. Not for kids, I don't think.
Oh! I'm sorry. You skipped over How to Train Your
Dragon.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, we already talked about How to Train Your Dragon.
636. Very close. But then a massive jump up to Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, Tanner, with $780 million. If I'm remembering correctly, the highest grossing Japanese produced film of all time?
Yes, it is indeed.
Good for them. That's all I really have to say there. I mean, I know nothing about this.
Hey, just a total announcement that, like, anime globally is mainstream. It is, something like people our age and younger now care about and want to go to the movie theaters to see.
Yeah.
Obviously also did huge numbers here in the U.S. as well, though it wasn't on the top 10 list. But this probably is the beginning of a trend. So the question is like, do U.S. studios begin to invest in things like this?
They should, but I don't. Yeah. They should, but will they even need to? I think the interesting thing is that these have been so insular in terms of Japanese productions based on Japanese IP. They're not distributed by major they're not in the U.S. They're not distributed by major U.S. studios, and so it's like they're doing fine without Paramount stepping in.
Well, they have Sony. Sony has to deal with Crunchyroll.
But Tanner, Sony is a Japanese company.
Tucker, that is so true. So yes, but that is kind of their in, and so at the same time, I'm like, is there room for like Disney or Warner Brothers or Universal to like sort of try to crowd in on that market? I guess they can wait until that deal between Sony, Crunchyroll, and these anime studios is up, and then try to like come and swoop in. But I don't see a clear path unless they try to like, I don't know, make deals outside of that. I really don't know. Number 6, Tucker.
Jurassic World Rebirth. We did talk about this. This does with the worldwide total there at 869. Am I correct in remembering that Dominion made just barely over $1 billion?
It did crack $1 billion,
which does make it the first Jurassic World movie to not make $1 billion.
That's true.
Tanner,
that's true.
In about 200 years, we'll be done.
Wow.
And it just keeps dropping off,
Just a slight drop off every single time. Number 5, you're right, Tucker, is Minecraft movie at $958 million worldwide. Not quite $1 billion, but as we've said a number of times, personally and on this show, can basically be counted as $1 billion movie with the cultural cachet that this caused, and obviously the merchandising was huge for this as well. I think.
Tanner. Huh? This is the gross for the first release of the movie. You forgot to count the extra $50 million for that Block Party re-release.
I can't believe it, Tucker. I can't believe it. All the money in the world that the Block Party release made. It is interesting, and we can briefly do this as an aside. That like no one cared about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, as soon as they sort of, like, overtly tried to lean into, like, the meme and the phenomena around it, everyone's like, all right, forget about it. We're done.
Well, I think also the movie was still in... the actual movie was still in theaters by that point.
Yeah, but it was late in its run. It was late in the run.
But I think that the movie was still making money. I think people just didn't know about it.
Yeah, it probably wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah,
because I remember seeing it on. I remember seeing when it hit HBO Max that both the regular version and the Block Party version were like in the top 10 movies on HBO Max when it hit that. So yeah,
Tanner, you gotta watch that and log that as a separate letterbox entry.
You think it has a? I don't think it has a separate letterbox entry. Because what is it? Is it just like the quote along things?
Yeah, I think it's like when something quote unquote iconic happens, they like show words up on the screen that are like, so you can say it along, and they're like
some fucking kind of dynamic. Some intern knocked that out in an hour.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, went to Descript and drag and drop a text layer on there.
Just import a Minecraft movie final version, a real final version _4 or whatever.
But then Tanner, $1 billion coming out this year. 3 of them from Disney. They reclaimed their throne, Tanner, over the last 2 years. And it's now kind of unambiguous. You know, we've got Lilo Sitch here with $1.04 billion. Avatar Fire and Action, they project... No, it
does have 1.1 billion. And I put the asterisk in there because, like, does it get above Zootopia 2? We'll see.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. And then Zootopia 2 still grossing, but with 1.59 billion. And then the undisputed champion of the year is not American production at all. It's not. It's not something I even knew existed until this year.
The first time ever that this has ever happened in the history of the box office, a non-American film is the highest-grossing film worldwide. Ninja 2, the sequel to the 2017, 16, something like that. Hang on, I can look that up. Film Ninja. But yeah, it's for people who don't know, Tucker. Should we explain what this is?
Sure, go ahead. We're not going to talk about it anywhere else because the rest of this is very American-centric.
Exactly. So this is, of course, a Chinese film. It's an animated film that sort of chronicles Chinese mythology, the story of a demon spirit little boy named Ninja, who's basically like a chaotic demon spirit, who sort of like, has this redemption arc. Everyone sort of judges him for being like a literal demon or whatever, but like he's also sort of fated to save the world at the same time. And so there are, jokes for people of all ages. There are epic and, large-scale battles and fights that involve like mythological magic powers and everything. It is a huge deal in China. Like 98% of its gross was made in China alone. Yeah,
let me get that on
It was released twice here in the U.S. in calendar year 2025. Once as just like, here it is.
$2.2 billion, 99% was made internationally. And there's not a breakdown easily here on Box Office Mojo. Yeah. But it's probably all China.
Yes, absolutely it is.
And $23 million in the U.S. is obviously... It doesn't matter. They don't care.
They do not care. And American audiences clearly didn't care that much. Yeah. I mean, I think a good chunk of that might have even been made when it like first hit theaters in like February of 2025, and then in like mid to late August.
That's because it was a phenomenon at that point.
Yeah. But in mid to late August, A24 got like the U.S. distribution rights and did an English dub and everything like that. That's when I saw it. And that made like zero money, like almost no money when A24 released it in the U.S. Over the summer. So, pretty big deal that like a non-American film was the highest grossing film this year. I think perhaps bodes is a bit symbolic of like the disappointment that we saw at the domestic box office from Hollywood films this year. We'll get into sort of what the projections were versus what the actuals were in a moment, but this coming year, 2026, is the very same as last year, where we're like, okay, well, last year was a little bit of a disappointment, but we'll be back this year, back and bigger than ever, actually.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, and we'll have to really point down, because it's not, I mean, there are certain places where it was Disney underperforming, but, like, they were doing a lot of the heavy lifting here, if we're being completely honest.
Yeah. But also, is there really anything that, like, we could have done to it was Zootopia 2, like, the offerings from Hollywood this year, were any of them ever going to make Ninja 2 money? Like, Avatar Fire and Ash could have made Avatar Way of Water money and challenged it.
I think that's...
like, Zootopia 2?
I think that's the thing, though, right? Fire and Ash is the only competitor that it had, and that's something, again, that we delineated earlier, of that movie not flopping, but certainly underperforming.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, we can quickly go through the domestic openings as well, since we do that for every month.
Yeah.
So these are your domestic openings, ranked from 1 to 10. Just kind of interesting to see how this stacks up to, like, the actual the actual domestic top 10 final gross. A lot of the same movies in here. I don't think the only one that you don't have is Captain America: Brave New World.
Yeah, and it's actually Sinners that was the movie that technically replaced that in the domestic.
Which, if we remember all the way back to last April, Tucker, was a deal of, like, well, Sinners opened pretty good, but, like, its budget is this, and is it gonna make all this money back and X, Y, and Z, and then it actually made more money the second weekend.
And
kind of put those considerations to rest. Well, Captain America: Brave New World, I don't know the exact number, but I'm sure had a probably north of 65% drop off in its second weekend.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. So interesting to see these. Also interesting to see that Superman outgrossed, but it also started bigger than any of the Marvel movies this year. And there's actually even a Marvel movie on here that we don't see in Thunderbolts as one of the highest opening weekends of the year. And that's one of the bigger examples of a failure of Marvel in this past year, is that usually they still open big, regardless of how they hold. So, but shout out to
As a quick aside, Thunderbolts number 12. If we look at the domestic openings, Conjuring: Last Rites opened bigger than Thunderbolts.
Really? Oh, that
really?
Well, you know what, Tanner? That's right. Apparently, people really, 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 really cared about Conjuring: Last Rites.
Yeah. And Thunderbolts is number 13 on the domestic overall market as well.
Sure.
Below Mission Impossible and Captain America: Brave New World.
But Tanner, if we take a look at what we thought were going to be the top 10 highest grossing domestic movies of the year, did you do the math and see how many of each of us got right? I guess we can just go through.
We both have 7 correct. We are tied.
Oh wow! Congratulations.
And so we can talk about who has more egg on their face, because Tucker, this was obviously a big topic of conversation at this time last year and throughout the year. I will concede that it is embarrassing, yes, though not my fault, nor something I could have foreseen, that Michael got delayed. So let's start with yours, and then we can talk about mine, and we can compare. So you and I, actually, we can talk about them a bit in comparison, because a lot of these numbers are, a lot of these placements are obviously the same or close. So Avatar, we both had at number 1, as we've pre-established, could very well happen. Like, it's just a thin enough margin that like could happen, could not happen, but it would be a very thin margin if it didn't. I had Wicked for Good at number 2. And you had Zootopia 2. So I doffed my cap. I doffed my cap on that one. Though it is also number 4 right now at the final. For Zootopia 2 is.
What do you number for what?
Zootopia 2 you had at number 2, but it's actually number 4 right now.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
But also, one of those things...
Wicked for Good is,
one of those things, though, is what's interesting about playing this game of predicting is ultimately, when you think about how well a movie did, especially a massive movie, you think about its total. And so the difficult part is parsing how success of a movie and predicting the success of a movie is like Zootopia 2 worldwide, which is how I'm going to think about it as a $1.5+ billion movie versus not actually making as much as Lilo and Stitch, even though that was also very big worldwide. Like there's definitely a thin line there that is difficult. So honestly, ordering within a 3 or 2 or 3 or 4 gap, give it to yourself.
Maybe we should do that. But Tucker, thank you for reminding me of this numbers thing, because I did predict numbers for my top 10 last year as well,
specifically for domestic grosses.
Yeah. So Avatar: Fire and Ash, I said 720. Not even gonna get close. Not even gonna get close. Wicked for Good, I said 500, which is again not well. Wait, what am I looking? Oh, I was looking at the December.
340, Tanner. No, not even close.
340. Not even close. Not even close. Superman, which I have at my number 3. I said 450.
350.
Which is it?
It's at 350.
Yeah, not close. Zootopia, I said 4...
You gotta be within, especially when we're talking about this scale of numbers, you gotta be within like $25 million, I think, for me to be like, all right.
Yeah. Zootopia 2, I had at number 4, and I said $420 million. Not really that
367, no.
Yeah. I had Jurassic World Rebirth at 390.
339. No, it's got the same number in front of it. That's a first for you.
Okay. Fantastic Four: First Steps. I said 340. Again, pretty far off.
Yeah.
Lilo and Stitch, I quite undervalued.
Sure.
And I said 325.
423 is the actual.
Yeah. Then I had Captain America: Brave New World at number 8. Mm-hmm. So this is the first one that I have that is off the list.
Yeah, correct. Mm-hmm.
Cut and dry. I said 280, and what was the dimension on Captain America? It is 200. 200 for Captain America.
Sure, okay. Not close.
Thunderbolts I had at number 9, and I said 275. Again, not on the list. It was actually 190. And then...
Michael.
Then I had Michael.
Yeah, so...
Which has made... Hang on, let's check the records here. How much money has Michael made in 2025?
Tanner, let me check my wallet. I made more money than that. I walk a dog almost every day, and I get paid a tenner for that. So I've got, I think, $101 on the dot in my wallet right now. But yeah, I mean, we're kind of just going through yours.
Yeah, we did that.
The biggest egg on your face, other than Michael, which it's at your number 10 slot, which I can I'll make fun of you for it, but I'm not going to cheese you too hard about it. Is your overconfidence on the performance of Marvel? That's like 3 movies when none of them were actually in the top 10. And so you actually had 6 that were accurate. Or no, well, I guess no, sorry.
Fantastic Four is on the list.
Yeah, not worldwide. Sorry, yeah. But, so how are you feeling about that? In terms of Marvel kind of being your sticking point?
Tucker, it doesn't make me feel good about the predictions I made for this year. I'll tell you that. Because I thought, lesson learned, I'm sure. But then also, Tucker, what do we have this year? We have Spider-Man and Avengers coming out this year. We're like, well, that's the fucking bread and butter. So do I undervalue those, or am I going to have egg on my face if I do undervalue those because they seem like more sure bets?
Tanner, if you're aiming for having them in the top 10?
Well, yes. Tucker, believe me, I have them in my top 10. Don't worry about it.
But really, what we're talking about here is egg on your face for including these movies, for overvaluing them to that degree where you think they're going to be one of the biggest. And obviously, that's just not what happened with Marvel this year. Mm-hmm. But, generally, you were rather accurate. The ones that you missed... were obviously Sinners. Neither of us had that.
Yeah.
How to Train Your Dragon, which I think I kind of toyed with the idea of, but didn't end up committing to. And then you, Tanner.
Yes.
Now, it depends on who... let's discuss our eggs, Tanner. Because there's an egg that each of us should have. Is that you didn't have Minecraft movie on there, which was the number 1. So I would say this is a pretty big egg. I mean, I don't know in terms of power ranking egg sizes for birds, what kind of bird this would be from, but not having the number 1 in your top 10. Mm-hmm. You thought, Tanner, I'm going to say it, and it's true, and you have to smile and wave. You thought Michael was going to make more money than a Minecraft movie.
I did. Tucker, I did think that. I did think that. And I remember when we recorded, I expressed some like immediate maybe buyer's remorse on that idea, not putting Minecraft in there. And I probably even said that Minecraft probably would have been like my number 11 or something like that.
It sounds good to say, so we'll believe you. Wink.
We'll believe it. So, Tucker, you didn't have the very, very, very close number 2
correct
on your list. Which is the...
Actually, yeah. You know what, Tanner? We got the same size egg on our face, to be completely honest.
Yeah. Let's say that. I will also say that Lilo and Stitch was bigger worldwide, though that's not the predictions that we're making. Yeah. You know, just a good little needle in your side there. If I can throw that.
Yeah, sure. Well, that's interesting. No, I mean, I think that's a good point. I think it's also funny that I say, haha, you don't have the number 1, but the reality is they're $1 million apart. It easily could have been Lilo and Stitch if, like, straight up, like, a weekend's worth of more people went and go see it in, like, week 7.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So those are pretty big eggs, both of us missing it. I think that both of us, actually, I undervalued Disney when you overvalued them. I think that I was really in the people don't care about remakes camp. I was starting to push that away. Obviously, we saw Snow White totally tank this year. We saw Little Mermaid not reach this kind of level, though it was in the top 10 when it came out. And I don't think there was any of them. Oh, well, I guess we saw Mufasa not be a massive $1 billion movie like The Lion King was. So I think I was kind of riding that trend downward. But Lilo and Stitch obviously proved me wrong and was something I should have had in my top 10 there. Now, for me...
So let's look at yours. Yeah.
My big egg is not having Lilo and Stitch. All right, fair. I'll take that. I will give myself the decent confidence of not overvaluing Marvel to the degree
the MCU.
Though, you know, degrees it's not that far apart ultimately.
Right.
I did have F1. I'll give myself F1. It wasn't the top 10 for worldwide.
That's true. That's true.
I think I didn't realize what kind of the gap was in terms of popularity of F1 as a sport, worldwide versus domestic. I just kind of thought of it, it's a big thing. Brad Pitt's an American star. It would skew more American, but it didn't.
F1 ended up at number 14 on the domestic
list. That's not close.
And you also had Mission Impossible, which ended up at number 12 on the domestic list.
That's not terrible.
So you had 2 outside of the top 10, and I had 1 in a movie that didn't come out.
True. Yeah. Okay. This is interesting. Damn, we're really, really, really close on this.
Yeah. I don't know if we can Tucker, we can feasibly crown a winner here. So you want to cut it in half and maybe just chuck it into the lake, and then we'll try to reassess.
Yeah, it's interesting. I will say, Tanner.
I truly, Tucker, I don't think we can make a call until Michael comes out and we see how comparatively that
you know what, Tanner?
Performed.
I will take that. That gives us another year for this to kind of brew. We both have Avatar at number 1, so that doesn't really make much of a difference. But Tanner, if
and who's to say, Tucker, that I don't have it in my top 10 this
year? You fucking better not. But Tanner, if Michael is in the top 10, here's the thing: because we made Michael the biggest joke of this whole thing for this whole year.
Yeah.
If Michael is in the top 15 highest grossing movies domestically of this year, I will give you a win.
Okay. Sounds good.
And I'll take that graciously.
Tucker, I feel pretty confident about that being the case.
Okay. All right. Buyer's remorse round 2, baby. Okay.
The year versus year stuff, Tucker. Like we can quickly go through this. The domestic top 10. What were our scores higher on? It was marginally higher for 2025. Yeah. We had quite a few movies that we quite enjoyed. Obviously Sinners is like one of the best movies of the year and ended up in that top 10 list. Where there wasn't really I guess we had Dune last year.
Yeah, we did.
I was about to say that didn't happen last year, but there was Dune. Yeah. I keep saying last year, 2024. It was 2 years ago now.
Yeah, but the backup is that Sinners also has Avatar: Fire and Ash in its camp.
Yeah, that's true. That's kind of the thing there. But then we have a real stinker in Lilo and Stitch And I guess we had a real stinker with Despicable Me 4.
Why don't you look at the numbers before you making these claims, buddy? So here's the thing. I was looking at these and I was like, all right, a lot of these aren't terrible numbers here. The one thing that I think keeps this not fully accurate is that I actually haven't seen Zootopia or Lilo and Stitch, and I think it would be safe to say I would probably like those movies more than you. And so
I would say so.
Both of their averages would be raised. I'm not saying I would love Lilo and Stitch. I'm not saying it wouldn't even be red still.
Listen, I give Zootopia 2 like it's fine, just because I'm not a huge Zootopia guy. And it's fair to say that yes,
I might have given it a 7 or an 8, and then it would be higher.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna be honest, like I get the vibes that I would have given Lilo Stitch like a 3.5 or a 4, and so it would have bumped up a tiny bit. Like I don't think we would have gotten to even 7 in terms of the average here. But then of course you also disliked Minecraft Movie and How to Train Your Dragon and Wicked for Good a lot less than I did, and so that also. Really, it's you. You're just like a kind of a giant sandbag who just like weighs down.
I just like those movies a lot more than you did. Sorry, I think you said I disliked them less than you did.
I might have said liked. Who knows? We'll check the tapes.
Who's to say?
The audience. I've been thinking about this since the beginning of the video. They know more than us. They can go back and like we don't have that ability at this exact moment. They also know what the thumbnail looks like. I don't know what that. They know what the movie title. They know what the title of the video is, and I don't even know that yet. Very interesting.
So exciting.
They're so intelligent and sexy.
If
they're above age.
Let's close the book on the overall look at the 2025 box office here. The domestic final total for all movies released in 2025 was $8.6 billion, which is marginally higher, 1% higher than the 2024 total.
I mean, negligible.
Exactly.
But Tanner, let's be so for real. The honest to God truth is this was a worse year than 2024. Because Nejad 2 made almost 25% of the total... it's domestic box office.
Yeah, domestic.
I was looking at that. I was going to... You know what? I was something to say. Do you have the worldwide total for 24?
24? Let me find it.
Off the top of my head?
Let me find it.
Or your head? Top of Google?
Oh, wait. Actually, I probably put it in last year's slideshow.
That's a great point.
If you just want to give me a second.
Yeah. I'll read through some of these stats as well. Domestic total was 1% above, but still down from 2023, being just a little bit bigger. It's so crazy how consistent these last few years have been. But I don't know if you feel similarly about this, but I do feel like the vibes have been increasingly getting a little bit better. 2023 was a year of such high-profile flops, and also the year that Disney totally shat the bed in terms of having like very, very little successes, or at least compared to what they traditionally had done and even have since done. And I do think that honestly, it's Disney's performance and their association with and strength with film and the box office that is a major contributing factor to how people feel towards a year. Because we look at this and 2023, 24, and 25 are all within like straight up within 2 and 3% of each other domestically. Like the reality is this is a flat fucking line of people going to see movies in the US over the course of the last few years. And I think of course we'll see with 26, which I mean, I think we all hope would be a little bit up, but maybe Hollywood just needs to recalibrate towards this is what the domestic audience is now. It is so consistent that I don't know, like, maybe Avengers and Spider-Man and everything we're talking about are going to shoot it up. But maybe not. And so I think that that's just something to think about of like, yeah, the vibes are down, but maybe the vibes just need to like mellow. Of like, guys, this is what we're working with now.
Yeah. Because I know there was a lot of conversation that we had at the beginning of the year that like, is 800 million the new billion and stuff like that. Sure. I don't know if we're still in that state of affairs, or if that was just cope for beginning of the year.
I don't think so, because 3 movies made $1 billion, and that is like that's a comfortable success number of $1 billion pictures that comes out. It's not the highest, but it is more than we've had the last few years. There hasn't been a single year up until 25 that had $3 billion pictures released in it. Am I right? Am I right about that?
Repeat what you just said.
There has not been until 2025, in the 2020s, a year that had $3 billion grossing movies.
2024, Inside Out, Deadpool, Moana.
Oh, I forgot Moana squirted past $1 billion.
Yeah. 2023 had 2, Barbie and Mario.
Yeah.
2022 had 3.
Oh, okay.
Avatar did over 2, obviously, and then Top Gun, Jurassic.
Again, Jurassic barely squeaked by. Okay,
yeah,
so I was wrong about that. But that,
and then 2021 just had the 1. So there's a couple of years this decade that have had. Well, and to answer your question from earlier, Tucker, the 2024 worldwide box office was $30 billion. This year, 33.5. So again,
that's the Neja effect.
That's the Neja effect.
And an extra little 2.2 on top, sprinkle it.
That is still down from 2023 still. So that is what we are dealing with.
But why don't you give your thoughts on what I was saying, though? I feel like 2023 was a very down year in terms of the vibes of is movie going over, you know?
I think we kind of feel that every year post-pandemic. And we are looking like, okay, this is the year that next year's the year. Look at all the movies coming out next year. It's going to be a big time, survive till 25, survive till 26 now, I suppose. Yeah. Because the honest to God answer is that there are slight fluctuations, but I think we are on the up and up still. Hollywood is recovering. Hollywood is, sort of feeling the vibe out of what audiences want and everything. And there are, of course, the usual complaints that need to be addressed of the price of going to the movies is too expensive for a lot of people, which is why they don't really do it, and the streaming windows, and the yada, 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 and the so on and so forth. Those are all things that still need to be reckoned with, but, I kind of have no doubt in my mind that 2026 will be above 25, 24, and maybe 23. I would say 23 as well.
Sure. Yeah, we'll see.
For the predictions that I have laid out, if we're counting billion-dollar movies, I think we'll be spoiled for choice. I think by the end of 26.
Yeah, and then you also have some specific weekends here that are
yes. I always like to look at
sizes. The biggest weekend was the May 23rd to 26th window, $330 million. Yes. I assume this is domestically.
Yes, it is. It is. Let me see. I'll do. What am I doing here? The weekend. Oh, yes. The overall gross. Let me look here. So that was the Memorial Day weekend. That was Lilo and Stitch was number 1. Mission Impossible was number 2. Both those movies new that weekend. Then number 3 was Final Destination Bloodlines. Obviously, sort of at the beginning of that Warner Brothers winning streak. Yeah. Number 4 was Thunderbolts. In week 4, it opened early in May, still making $12 million that weekend. And number 5 was Sinners in week 6, making $10 million that weekend. So, Sinners still going strong, and then, you had your sort of Memorial Day blockbusters for the family, and then for cool guys like us who like Mission Impossible.
Yeah. And then March 14th to 16th was the lowest grossing weekend of the year. Tanner, what led the pack?
What led the pack was again 2 new releases this year. A film that I thought was fine, probably not that good at number 1 in Novocaine, the Jack Quaid action comedy.
I like Novocaine.
Yeah. Number 2 was a film that I quite liked. Steven Soderbergh's Black Bag was new that week. Novocaine made 8.8 and Black Bag made 7.6.
Yeah, that's bad. But also here's what's interesting is. Divorce yourself from the numbers you just read. Yeah. If you were to just gut feeling what's going to be one of the lowest grossing weekends of a year, you're probably going to go a weird August/September or a weird January, February kind of thing.
Definitely.
But the reality is, both of those packs, both those sections I just talked about, those chapters of the year, if you will, months, have movies holding over that raise that bottom. And so a January weekend's not going to be one of the lowest grossing because you still have massively grossing, massively popular movies from December holding through the entirety of January. And that's also true for August in terms of the late summer blockbusters holding into August. When you're looking at something like Black Bag being number 2, that's why that weekend wasn't holding up is because you didn't have something that was and maybe it would have been Thunderbolts, right? In terms of like why they didn't put massive movies out.
The March was just a weird time also in 2025 because again the holdovers that you have in that time frame are Mickey 17 at number 3 in week 2, which was sort of an infamous box office bomb. And number 4, Captain America: Brave New World in week 5. Which is making $5 million. Like, people didn't really care or like that movie that much. And then at number 5, you have a niche play in the Looney Tunes: The Day the Earth Blew Up movie.
I forgot they even came out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was a catch-up entertainment thing. Like, it was not at all a big deal. It made $3 million that weekend. Because again, like. If we talk about the holdovers from end of the year that go into January and February, like the big movie that was supposed to like rock the world or like be the big thing in March was Snow White, which was also that was the week late. That was the week after this.
Sure, you know what that's really what it is. Then is obviously, if we look back at something like 2023, March is not a weak time. March to April was very, very busy for the box office in 2023.
Let me look at that
with successfsuccessful movies. That was Creed. That was John Wick. That was Mario.
Ghostbusters came out in March 2024.
No, I'm talking 23.
You're in 23. Yeah. Oh, let me go back to that.
But I think you make a great point of the reason why that period was the lowest is because they were like holding things back a little bit in case Snow White was big, and Brave New World didn't perform, and so because week 3 of a major superhero movie still could have been number 1 if it was like the last Captain America movie was $1 billion movie.
It certainly was. Yes.
So that's very interesting to kind of think back at retrospectively like that.
March 2023, Tucker. What a time to be alive. First week, Creed 3, $58 million opening weekend. Second week, Scream 6. Not a movie I care for that much, but $44 million. The week after that, Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
Oh yeah, shout out.
$30 million still. And the week after that, John Wick Chapter 4, $73 million to close out the month.
Yeah, and then I guess it was right after that was Mario, early in April.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That was early April. Yeah. Yes.
I want to tell you a very quick funny story and why I'm being like I'm guarding the cat that is on my lap.
Okay, here we go.
I was having a meeting the other day and my computer turned off. I'm like, what the heck? He stepped on the power button on my computer and he turned off my computer.
He shouldn't be doing that. Come on, man.
He doesn't know. He doesn't understand.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the next slide I have is the graph that we look at on our monthly show. Yeah. It's the same as the one we looked at in December. It's just a visualization of basically what we've just been talking about. The month difference from 23, 24, and 25.
Yeah.
So.
And it's interesting to note there when we're talking about that March being weaker. Look at the Marches for 24 and 23.
Yes. Yep. Definitely. Okay. Tucker, should we get into it?
Let's do it.
Get your red pens out, Tucker. Get ready to write down some grades on these.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We'll do these in post.
I'll do it in post. Yes. Well, I'll see what we say. We'll average it out, and we'll make a deliberation, a final opinion before we move on. So, Walt Disney Studios, the number 1 studio for 2025, as we said, had several $1 billion films.
And this is encompassing of Searchlight and 20th Century.
Searchlight, 20th Century, Marvel, Pixar. This is everything they have under
Lucas.
The big Disney tent.
No, wait, there's no Lucas this year. But
no Lucas this year. Next year. So, Tucker, what do you make? Do you want to pick anything specifically out of the 2025 list that you're like, this was obviously something, this was like a thing I thought was going to perform better that didn't, or something that surprised you?
Well, I think what's, for me, the narrative of Disney's 2025 is that it feels like they made a pretty good comeback, building off of 2024, having a massively successful animated film in Moana 2, and bringing back Marvel with Deadpool and Wolverine, making over $1 billion. Like, okay, we're good there. But then 2025 hitting 3 pillars with Avatar and Zootopia and Lilo and Stitch. That gives us Pixar, that gives us 20th Century, and that gives us live action Disney. It feels like they're back. But Tanner, nothing else was a win. I would say Predator Badlands is kind of like the next one down, and Freakier Friday, like these are like B minus tier, like like that. People like those and saw them.
Like Freakier Friday is like a pat on the back. It's like, hey man, that was like a live action comedy that opened in August
anymore.
that was made for like $45 million. That made pretty good money. On top of that, it's like obviously it's based, it's mining nostalgia from 20 years ago, but like, yeah, you turned that into a win.
Yeah,
Predator Badlands is a little bit more of like a. I mean, it was a good movie that people seem to like, but is it a financial success? Can be deliberated, I think.
Yeah,
can be argued.
Also important to note that I think Fantastic Four was a moneymaker. I think Thunderbolts and Brave New World are a little shakier, but
yeah,
if the best we can say outside of the $3 billion movies is like pat on the back, hey, pretty good job. The reality was that obviously not all of these are Disney related films in terms of what people go to see and associate with Disney. That's the majority of them are not. But like Marvel did totally underperform this year. Pixar totally underperformed this year.
I mean Elio, good lord.
Tron Ares, massive bomb.
Yeah,
Snow White, massive bomb. Like and Searchlight's The Roses, El McKay, Springsteen, like these are not aiming very big. But even El McKay was like, what? Did we get the stat of the lowest grossing wide release movie?
Number 2. Yeah. Number 2 of all time.
Behind something in the pandemic, right?
But behind two, well, if you include the pandemic things, it's number 4.
That's right. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think ultimately, frankly, what matters is that they had the culturally popular movies. They had 3 of the highest grossing movies of the year, 3 of the only $1 billion movies of the year, and that's ultimately what matters, and kind of subsidizes the fact that everything else underperformed. Yeah.
Should we give them? What are we thinking? Should we give them like an? Do we want to do like minus and pluses, or just want to do A, B, C, D, F? Oh. Like, is that what we want to do? I think we should maybe give ourselves the bandwidth with the pluses and minuses.
I think that I can't in good faith give this an A when the bulk of their slate was flops.
You should have a little bit of supplement under your $1 billion top crust. You know, you should have it. Which I guess their supplement was things like Captain America and Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts. But like you dig into the minutia of those, and you're like, well, they definitely hoped these would do better.
Oh, of course, yeah. Well, I mean, Fantastic Four and Brave New World. Now I don't know like internally what Disney thought for Fantastic Four, but like I was really thinking, okay, they're back with this one. And like obviously I love that movie personally, but like been so long since we had a Fantastic Four. We'd never had one from the MCU before. I do think that, and I think a lot of people think that like it's the best Fantastic Four movie, but that it could have been something like fresh and a iconic enough thing to be that next Avengers, Spider-Man, X-Men, like massive franchise for them, and it's really not. And then
I just wanted to pull up the numbers here just because so we don't talk about it in vagaries. Basically, budget was somewhere between 180 and 230 on Fantastic Four, and it made 520.
Okay, that is profitable in the theatrical market. I think so. But yeah, so I think that's why that was a sort of a soft disappointment for me. But I think Brave New World's the real disappointment. It was the most expensive of those Marvel movies made this year, and it was certainly the one IP-wise with the biggest potential. Yeah. And it, especially domestically, it didn't even make the top 10.
No, it didn't. So yeah, that's definitely the biggest stinker in terms of like what was supposed to be a supplement, not a $1 billion movie.
I don't think that's
and
true.
Then you have some.
I think it's Snow White, Tanner.
Oh, sure.
That really should have been number 4 or 5 in terms of like. I mean, Tanner, frankly, maybe the year, right? Of like the iconic Disney princess brand. That's their first goddamn thing. And the fact that it tanked in the way that it did. I mean, they were probably hoping for $800 million from this movie.
Yeah, but then miscalculation on their part because like, do people actually care about Snow White, or is that just like has that just like been folded into people care more about the things that bringing their kids to things that they remember, like Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Lion King.
So what do we think? B plus for Disney?
Yeah, I think
2025.
It's a B plus that I think, especially because I haven't seen Lilo and Stitch, I haven't seen Zootopia 2, I don't have thoughts on those movies. Like, I know I could easily say, and I think I did earlier, oh, I'm not going to like Lilo and Stitch, but I like to reserve judgment until I've actually seen a movie for myself. So like, I'm personally not going to be too harsh, but it's a B plus that I in my heart is like a B minus of like, like, honestly, for me, Predator, Avatar, and Fantastic Four is like all that mattered this year. I know, and Thunderbolts. I like Thunderbolts a lot, actually.
You like Thunderbolts, yeah.
But like everything else, I either really didn't like or didn't
could
care
really
about.
leave. Yeah. Okay, and 2026, Tucker. Let's take a look ahead. So here we have. Let's go through it. We have Send Help at the end of this month. We have Psycho Killer, which is like a slasher movie from 20th century that's coming out in February. You have a Pixar movie in Hoppers, an original Pixar movie, which March 1, which has not been a good spot for Disney to be in or Pixar to be in as their original spring films. Ready or Not 2 in April. The Devil Wears Prada 2 in May, The Mandalorian and Grogu in May, Toy Story 5, Moana, that's kind of like their summer slate right there in the middle. And then you have the rest of the year, which is some more niche plays with like things like Super Troopers 3, which is like a comedy, Dog Stars, which is a Ridley Scott, Jacob Elordi starring apocalypse drama that's coming out at the end of March. Doesn't bode well, I don't think.
We love Ridley Scott. We're big Ridley Scott fans in this house.
We are?
Not necessarily, Tanner. Because his movies are, like, great, though he does have great movies. And certainly, Tanner, not because he makes popular movies that make Disney, specifically, a lot of money. Because he has lost so much money. Well, I guess Glider 2 was a comfortable success. No, that wasn't even with Disney. But, like, House of Gucci and Last Duel and stuff, like, I don't know, man. Jacob Elordi's a push for something, but
he is.
I don't know.
If I can put on my executive cap, my Kevin Feige executive cap, though he doesn't run all of Disney, of course, I'm looking at this and I'm like, the Dog Stars is a liability that we have on our slate, of course.
Yeah, it's because also one thing that we like Ridley Scott for, but I don't think Disney likes Ridley Scott for, is he doesn't make his movies particularly cheaply. He does like to spend a good amount of money on them, and so I think you're probably right looking at this slate.
And then we should finish it up. Hexed is their is the Walt Disney Animation's original film over the Thanksgiving holiday, and then of course Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah. Now it is important to note they are involved with Spider-Man: Brand New Day. It's a Sony production, but it's co-financed. Like they're getting the money from it.
Grouped things together by distributor.
Yeah.
That is how I group things together, which is why you'll see like F1 on the Warner Brothers slide, for example. It's an opportunity to talk about that. You know, it has an asterisk next to it, but Warner Brothers released that film.
Yeah. But I think this is it's a lot like 2025 in that I see some super safe plays here. We're playing the hits. We're gonna get the money, and it's gonna subsidize losses.
Some safe plays.
It's gonna subsidize recent losses when things like Disney and Pixar and Marvel were not hitting, and of course we haven't had Star Wars for the entirety of the 2020s. And I think that Toy Story, Moana, and Star Wars and Avengers are all gonna do great. I think they're all gonna be in the top 10. Like I'm like fine with that. But I think the reason why I'd say it's a step up from this year, though, I mean, I think it can be argued multiple ways, is it seems like they kind of trimmed the fat of, 20th Century isn't quite doing as much stuff. And well, Searchlight stuff will probably bubble up over the course of the year. This is not their total 2026 slate. I'm sure we'll get some end-of-the-year Searchlight movies.
Tucker, good to note that, like, obviously these 2026 slates for all of these studios are incomplete.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They buy things. There are things in production that they date later. Yeah. These are the biggest hits and things that are coming out soonish. Is kind of what these are.
Yeah, but it's interesting actually here looking at all of this. If I had to look at when we call the Dog Stars liability, I have no idea what they're spending or expect from Super Troopers 3. So that is like outside of my possibility to even put it. But
I just know that Super Troopers is like beloved by like a certain group of like 20 to 30 something guys.
Yeah.
Probably not 20 to 30 to 40 something guys.
Yes.
So I'm like, are those guys going to go see the new movie in theaters?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Then the only other ones that are liabilities in the same way as I would say those two are, because I think they didn't spend a lot of money on Send Help, and I think it'll make fine money, like it'll not do a lot. Fine. Ready or Not 2, I think will do pretty good, and I think Devil Wears Prada will do pretty good. Psycho Killer, I think again that's kind of it's kind of a wash.
It's a horror movie, you know. Those always do fine.
Yeah, but Hoppers and Hexed are big question marks. You get a little bit of a stink in terms of their original films have not been doing very well in the 2020s, but they're also question marks. Like maybe people really are like beavers. I don't know.
Yeah, I just look at Hoppers and I'm like, are people in for like the super like chatterbox kind of off the wall kids movie like from Disney, a thing a Pixar that they don't recognize? Because like Elemental did well, but I think that plays a little bit more into like, look at this world and look at these characters and they're kind of funny, but they're not like, they don't have I think they probably do have iPhones or whatever, don't they?
They probably have like fucking elophones, Tanner.
But they're not making like, they're not making jokes about like pop culture like we seem to be led to believe that like Hoppers is going to be doing, or like Elio kind of did as well. I just don't know about it. Like, I just don't know. And Hexed, we almost know nothing about. We only have like concept art. But like, do I think it's going to be Wish again? I certainly hope not. But is it going to be their new Frozen? I also don't think so.
Yeah.
Just because I don't think they are I don't think they are in a position with audiences to convince them that they can do that kind of thing again.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a weird year. But I ultimately think it's a better year than this year because I think we've got a wider plate of potential billion-dollar movies here. And and again, I say that you can argue this either way. It's a trimming of the fat. I think that probably means that it'll be more consistent, but I don't know if it'll mean it'll be more interesting. Because I think that there's a good variety of stuff across the quality spectrum, across the genre spectrum from the wider Disney studio slate last year.
Tucker, can I ask you something though before we move on about one specific film on here that may or may not be informing some predictions that we'll get to for 2026 at the end of this episode?
Do I think Mandalorian Grogu can make $1 billion? Was that
I wasn't even gonna reach that high with it. I was like, do you think that people care about the Mandalorian and Grogu?
Well, we will see, Tanner. We will fucking see.
That's just something that has been running circles in my mind. That is just something that has been really just pacing the walls in this old noggin of mine.
Well, Tanner, let's see who plays number.
Oh wait, what do you think for 2026? A minus?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, WB, the big W, and I don't want to heap too much praise on Warner Brothers because of course there are some things that don't bode well for the industry as a whole related to them, but they have a big honkin' slate next year. But we can talk about that in 2025.
I just want to quickly say, if we were reviewing their years based on like if we think that these like capitalist bigwigs at the top of these corporations are making moves that are like positive for the industry, they would all get fucking F's, Tanner.
Yeah, that's a good point.
we're reviewing them based on the films, their performance, their variety, their reception, and I think this will go down as one of the most consistent, impressive years from a single distributor.
Just off rip, Tucker, I don't mean to preempt our conversation, but off rip, is it an A+?
I think so, yeah. Because I don't think you can expect a single I say publisher because I'm very video game brain, but distributor, I guess, studio to do much better than this. They made movies that are in the top 10. They after Alton Knights, none of these lost money. They have movies that are
one battle after another. We can be honest with ourselves. Yeah. It has not made its budget.
Yeah, fair enough. Still popular for what it is in an interesting place.
Absolutely.
Obviously, a big awards play. They've got horror, they've got action, they've got franchises, they've got original stuff. Like,
yeah,
I like this slate a lot. I think it was really
I
excellent.
It a lot. I
also personally, Tanner, looking here,
yes.
I saw all of these movies except for Alton Knights. I liked every single one of them.
Yeah.
You didn't like Minecraft. That's fine.
I didn't like Minecraft. I thought Mickey 17 was okay, though I've sort of grown on it as time has gone on. Alton Knights is bad, so don't fret yourself about not seeing that, Tucker. Yeah. But yeah, absolutely. It just like I realized when I was looking at the Disney 2025, like there was a weight on my soul a little bit, and that has been lightened a little bit by looking at these set of movies. Yeah. So yeah, I think. Should we give it an A just because they have like a Mickey 17 and an Alton Knights on there?
No.
Or should we do A+?
No, because I think in both of those cases, and what we can praise the executive producers at Warner Brothers for, is, and this is true from the bottom of their performance to the top, giving auteurs the money to make what they fucking want to. And that didn't pay off with Mickey 17, and it didn't pay off with Alton Knights, but they gave two respected directors the money to just play with.
My sweet, sweet goats, Pam Abdi and Michael DeLuca. Yeah. My sweet, sweet goats. So, yeah, A+ for Warner Brothers 2025. Congratulations, guys. Yeah. You did it.
No, and they're also, Tanner, I think they're working with here, in a couple of different lanes, the kind of cream of the crop talent of the 2020s. I think
definitely.
I think Ryan Coogler, James Gunn, and Joseph Kosinski especially.
Bong Joon-ho, Joseph Kosinski.
Yeah, Bong Joon-ho, yes, because of Parasite. He's only made one movie.
He's a guy that post Parasite you're like, yeah, obviously we want him. 100%. Obviously.
But even weapons director Tanner,
Zach Kreger.
Yeah, Kreger. And PTA, like almost PTA, everything here other than the franchise horror is
he didn't direct
stuff.
It, but he didn't direct it, but James Wan with The Conjuring.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. And I also, again, I liked all these movies, and almost all of them made money. So I think it's a comfortable A+ for me. I'm like, sure. I would have wanted to see more. And Tanner, it seems like that's what's happening this year.
My final note for Warner Brothers 2025 is they didn't release anything after One Battle After Another in September. They had no Thanksgiving or December or November, December films.
Yeah, well, that's because The Bride and Mortal Kombat got delayed out of the year.
That is a good point. Both of
those were supposed to come out.
Yeah. Yes. So let's talk about them. Let's talk about 2026. They don't have anything in January. Their first film up is Wuthering Heights, which I said to you, Tucker, if we wanted to delay the making of this video, we should probably do before Wuthering Heights comes out, because I think it's going to be a pretty big deal.
Tanner, I think that movie's going to be fucking huge. And for its audience, it's not going to be a $1 billion movie, but I think that this is going to get so much cultural attention from the quote-unquote right group of people, of young people that are just really into movies. I think this is going to be a new social media fan favorite film that garners a lot of attention.
It's sumptuous. It's, from a name people recognize. It's got big movie stars. Yeah. It's horny and, and smutty. Yeah. It is kind of everything that, apparently young people are into now, even though it's a really weird thing where you'll hear it's an angel in one ear and the devil on the other with in regards to young people, young audiences, their view on sex in movies and television. Because on one you'll hear they do these polls and young people don't like watching sex in movies and on TV. But then the other side of the conversation is, things like Heated Rivalry, which is a show about hockey players having gay sex, is like super popular, and Colleen Hoover novels are super popular, and all this stuff. So I don't really know what to make of it. I just know that Wuthering Heights is going to be a hit.
Yeah, Tanner, I think what you're learning there is that humanity contains multitudes.
I don't think that's true, Tucker.
There's a variety of people out there with a variety of perspectives.
I think you're off base.
I think you're wrong with that one. The Bride up next. I don't have a ton of faith in this one being a big or anything, or even an awards play.
It smells like Mickey 17 to me. Maggie Gyllenhaal, God love her, but smells like a very similar situation.
Yeah, I mean, I'll see it. I'm interested, but
definitely.
But neither on the critical or commercial side, I don't have a particularly large amount of faith. Tanner, what is They Will Kill You? Is that Zazie Beetz I see back there?
That is a Zazie Beetz film. This is
she's missing her iconic nose. It's behind a sword, Tanner. So.
Yes, good point. Tucker, Zazie Beetz is murdering a bunch of people who are trying to murder her.
Yippee!
It's sort of like an action horror kind of thing. I think she's like a janitor in an apartment building with a bunch of rich people, like high rise.
Is she like with
a bunch of rich people?
Former special forces janitor?
I don't think so. I think she's just supposed to be like a normal person who is forced to do it's kind of like a Ready or Not situation where
sure.
She thinks that this is a normal day, but actually she has to murder a bunch of rich people.
She has a sword, Tanner.
She has a sword. I don't know where
normal people don't.
Rich people have swords hanging on their walls.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that might be. There's a trailer out for this. This is out March 27th. I think it looks kind of neat. That's kind of my thoughts on it.
Yeah, but I don't smell much coming from that.
No, of course not.
Lee Cronin's The Mummy, though, apparently there's a stench wafted in from across the room because everything that has been sort of rumored about this movie is that it's, like, legendarily terrible. And Tanner, we're so fucking back.
Well, first
time is a flat fucking circle.
This is the poster that I pulled. Apparently this film, not officially to any knowledge of mine, but is now titled Lee Cronin's The Resurrected, not The Mummy. They have taken The Mummy branding off of this thing.
Are you fucking serious?
That is what I have heard. There's zero marketing for this film out right now. Apparently they were just doing some test screenings to probably figure out how to market this thing.
That's so funny.
And that is where we got the info that it is like radioactive bad.
Oh my fucking god. I can't wait. That's crazy.
So, but it also seems they did that because, they have The Mummy 4 in production now with Brendan Fraser. So maybe they don't want the stink on it from this, maybe.
That makes a lot of sense. Is that Warner Brothers? No.
Is that Warner Brothers? Let's find out. The Mummy.
I will say.
Yeah, I think that was Universal.
Yeah, I think it is.
4.
I will say, I think it's actually very funny. that there are
Universal Pictures.
There are 2 Warner Brothers productions that are like readaptations of Universal monster movies.
Yes.
I think that's funny.
Yes.
I think that's funny.
Pretty interesting.
Warner Brothers monster movies, Tanner.
WB monster movies. So bad stuff from Lee Cronin's The Resurrected. Yeah. Apparently it's called.
But also, I will say, I don't think if it's really that bad, I don't think it'll be a hit. But it probably didn't cost too much. I think it'll be a comfortable financially.
Yeah, I mean, we have obviously no idea what this movie looks like or is about.
Yeah. Tanner, Mortal Kombat 2, how are you feeling about that one?
I think it'll be a hit. I think people are kind of in for this. It's been a long time since Mortal Kombat came out. That was a day and date on HBO Max as well. So I don't think this is gonna light the world aflame. But is it going to be? I'd have to rack my brain and try and think of all the video game adaptations coming out this year. But it's a May film, getting people hyped for the summer movie season. It's going to have a lot more recognizable characters in it. Carl Urban is going to be the lead of this thing, it looks like, so that'll probably get some butts in seats.
Oh yeah, he's Johnny Cage?
He's Johnny Cage.
Okay,
it's
been 5 years since I've seen a fucking movie, so I'm just like...
Yes. Well, he's not in the first one.
No, it's not oh, no, you're right. Tanner, can we do it together? The power of our minds combined. Who is the original character that's the lead of that fucking movie?
Oh, Tucker, I don't even need your mind meld, baby, because I know it for some reason. It's Cole Young, of course.
Cole Young.
Yeah. I smelled a modest hit with Mortal Kombat 2. That's what I think.
Yeah, I probably agree with you. Animal Friends. Oh, Tanner, this was also supposed to come out last year and didn't.
It was. Tucker, this has been delayed a number of times.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't they start working on this in 2020 or 2021 or something?
This is an R-rated animal gross out comedy, It seems similar to like a Strays kind of thing to me. All-star celebrity cast voicing animals doing stuff they shouldn't be doing.
Why not? We'll see.
I think this is a thumbs down.
Is it live action-y? Well, I guess we don't know. Is it live action animals or animated animals?
On Letterboxd, there is not the animation genre attached to this.
Yeah, well, I think because it would also then be attached to an animation studio. I think which we would know about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, absolutely no way. This is the cocaine bear of this year. But although that movie made money, I don't know. Uh-huh. It'll be interesting to see. I think this will be a very good test of if an all-star cast can be a draw, or like can make a movie successful or comfortably successful. Because I don't necessarily think that the premise of this will bring people in.
Yeah. Do we want to continue going through these one by one? I realize we're doing that because it's just more interesting than Disney's slate for this year.
It's way more interesting. Yeah,
it's way more interesting. So we have Supergirl. That is the DC, the second DCU entry in terms of film. I think we're both on the same page that this is going to be a much smaller movie than Superman. But there's a trailer out for this. Has been out for a while. I think it looks pretty fun.
Yeah, I think it'll be solid. And I think it'll do fine.
I think it'll do fine as well. But, sorry, what were we going to say?
What the fuck is cut off there?
It's an original comedy. It's directed by Jonah Hill. It's got Jonah Hill and Kristen Wiig in it. They're two rich adult children, basically. Like they never had to work a day in their lives. And Tucker, wouldn't you know it? They get cut off.
You know what? I heard about this. Yeah.
Yes, and so they have to go work in the real world for the first time.
If they promote it right, maybe it'll be fine.
Evil Dead Burn, another Evil Dead movie, will probably do quite solidly. Yeah. David Robert Mitchell. David Robert Mitchell's Flowervale Straight.
I don't know, man.
I'm excited.
I don't know, man.
I'm excited.
We'll see.
I don't think this is going to be a hit by any means. It's coming out in August, but I'm excited.
Oh.
Clayface.
Wait, wasn't it supposed to be like May or something?
Yeah, it keeps getting pushed.
Man, well, because it was supposed to be like a holiday thing this year.
Yeah.
At one point. And then it was going to be kind of a summery thing. And that's where that was the last I heard of it. And now you're like,
yeah,
we're patching in. No one gives a fuck. We're putting out in August.
Yeah, it's kind of the vibe. That's kind of the vibe on this.
Get a better name than that. It feels like a placeholder.
Weapons was a Warner Brothers film that came out in August.
Sure. Fair enough.
Clayface, small budget, small film, interesting project in the DCU. I'm kind of interested in what this will be. Not going to be like a massive hit by any means.
I think that this is one of the first... superhero IP movies that I think feels more genuinely artistically driven more than anything. Of what can we do with this? How can we... I actually kind of feel similar to this and how I felt about Joker. Now that we saw that movie...
Joker. Yeah.
Well, no, frankly, only when the movie came out and that was obviously successful, critically successful, I really like it. Joker and this kind of fitness in some of mine, or something like Penguin, where it's like, I don't think that they're doing this just because X is popular. It's because, we got a kind of interesting idea for a story with this. We can play into a couple superhero tropes, but that's not the main draw. Kind of is, but I'm looking forward to this one.
Okay, yeah, me too.
Yeah, and it also just speaks to, we have someone like James Gunn in control who does have those sensibilities and hasn't been largely able to let loose in that way. He's not directing this, but he's obviously the one managing the direction of this universe and the slate of films. But we'll see how long that lasts, frankly.
Sure. Okay. The rest of Warner Brothers' fall and sort of winter slate includes Practical Magic 2. Tucker, I assume you've heard of Practical Magic, the film.
It's a movie, I bet.
It's a movie. It's got Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock, and apparently they're back. And we're doing a legacy sequel.
Huh. Well, we'll see.
We'll see. I don't think this is... They're trying to maybe do a Freakier Friday thing. I think it'll be smaller than that.
I agree. I certainly agree.
Alejandro G. Iñárritu's Digger, starring Tom Cruise.
This is going to be a real interesting test for him. Dan, I have no fucking idea really what this movie's about. I think that the teaser trailer is interesting, but I think I wish I was more jazzed by it. It's so offbeat that I can't really get a grasp on how I feel about it.
Yeah. It's kind of giving me, and I think they're kind of pitching this as like a one battle after another kind of move for them this year.
I think so, yeah.
Big movie star, auteur, director, fall release date. I think they're positioning it in a very similar fashion.
Yeah, yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan's Remain. Starring Jake Gyllenhaal. Written by Nicholas Sparks. What's going on?
We'll find out. Shout out to Shyamalan.
We'll find out. Yeah, shout out to, it's an October like horror movie thing, so yeah, it might be good. But also Shyamalan is pretty divisive as a director. Yeah. Cat in the Hat at the beginning of November. Obviously, they're trying to make this like a kids movie that'll play through Thanksgiving. Bill Hader, whenever he promotes this film, looks like he wants to kill himself. So
yeah, I don't have a ton of faith in this.
No. And then Dune. So we talked about Disney, Tucker. We have Dune Part 3 here. Let's hash this out for a moment.
Tanner, if I had to say, Dune doesn't come out this year. I think it gets a 27
push to
March 27.
Push to 27.
Yeah, because I think that it's not a good idea to put Avatar.
It is absolutely not a good idea. No. Like, I understand, and there's been a little bit of reporting on this that like the feeling from Warner Brothers is, fuck you, Marvel, we had this day first.
Sure,
you move.
Fair enough.
And the feeling from Marvel is that it's an Avengers movie, you dumbasses, we're not moving.
Now, actually, there's obviously two very different ways to look at this. But from my side, my gut feeling was, it's Avengers, it's going to stay its ground. Dune could cook a little bit extra time. Of course, that would... Dune Part 2 was able to actually hold all the way through to the next year in terms of awards buzz, so it could do that again. But now that I really think about it, I actually think it's Avengers that's more likely to, like, fuck, we need more time, man.
No, I don't Tucker, they've done the countdown thing as part of their marketing.
Fuck.
You can't... I don't think... They're in a position where, like, we cannot move it now. We've made the countdown thing a part of the marketing.
Okay, so, do you think Dune gets delayed? Or do you think it moves up?
I think the idea that I've heard that I like the most is that move Digger to, like, Christmas release date to get to really get that, like, award season kind of thing going. Dune out October 2nd.
Oh, is Digger's October 2nd?
October 2nd for Digger, yes.
Okay, I think that'd be fine.
I mean, they already,
if they got to tell the people you get to see Dune Part 3 months early, people lose their fucking minds.
And there's like, I mean, I can look at it quick here. I think there's like no competition early October, and October feels like a fine time to put out a Dune movie.
Fine. It will do fine wherever it's at, or it'll do good.
Exactly. Early October is like, there's like nothing. I mean, Verity, but that Verity is actually something that feels like that will live very nicely alongside something like Dune. You know, it would honestly, Tucker, it would honestly be a bit of a Barbenheimer situation if they did Dune movie, Colleen Hoover adaptation same day.
Very interesting. Yeah, that would.
I think so. Huh. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really have to run up against anything for 2 weeks until, like, Street Fighter comes out, but Dune is going to fucking steamroll Street Fighter, so don't even worry about it.
And also, we have to remember, 2 weeks is fine.
2 weeks is fine.
2 weeks is a fine fucking gap. We don't need 3 fucking weeks between movies, guys.
You get your fucking IMAX screens. You don't have to fight with them with Disney, who's obviously going to crowd you out of PLF and IMAX screens, Warner Brothers. They're, like, the biggest dog in town. Like, I just don't see how the Dune A doesn't move or doesn't get trounced by Avengers when it comes out. Or, I mean, not trounced, but, like, it's going to be on less screens, less IMAX screens. They're not going to get the ideal release for Dune if they keep it on that day.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Oh, wait. Warner Brothers 2026. Letter grade, Tucker. What do we think? A?
I think this is an A. Yeah, because here's the thing. I criticized Disney for trimming the fat going into this year. They actually, Warner Brothers seems to have a nice little padding of fat around the edges. As I'm like,
certainly.
Alto Knights is like the lowest that I would go, obviously, from last year, where I'm like, oh, this is something that no one cared about. I think I can point to actually a good amount of movies this year. They Will Kill You. We'll See About Cut Off. Animal Friends. I'm like, and The Bride. There's a little bit more fat around the edges here, but I think that's fine. And we still have them supporting Alejandro Iñárritu and Denis Villeneuve and Emerald Fennell.
And Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, like they've got those things in there, and if specifically Digger and Dune hit like we want them to, they're gonna end up in the same position that they had One Battle After Another and F1 in a way, like or sorry, I guess Sinners, right? Of like two kind of popular and also awards popular movies. I think the only difference is I don't think they've got like other than Dune. I don't think they've got like a slam dunk. I think culturally this will be a step down for them. But in terms of like our enjoyment and my appreciation of what they're doing, I think this is a nice, comfortable continuation.
I think so too. They'll have a smaller year than 25 certainly, but they're trying to carry over some of the same beats and notes. So yeah. Okay, Universal Tucker, 2025 Universal.
Tanner?
They had some big hits. How to Train Your Dragon, Jurassic World, Wicked, big hits.
Yeah. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's, true. Thank you. And then they also are sort of the home of Blumhouse largely, so those films didn't really connect this year.
No.
Woman in the Yard, Drop, Megan 2.0, Black Phone 2.
Yeah.
Like those movies just did not connect at all.
I think this is pretty bad. Because honestly, the only movie here that I see as like a true slam dunk is How to Train Your Dragon in terms of like surprising people liking it and it making obviously one of the most money of the year. Wicked 2 and Jurassic World are also in there, but those are also steps down in terms of what we expected or could have hoped for out of both, and I think what they hoped for out of both of those.
Definitely.
And frankly, Five Nights at Freddy's as well. Like three-quarters of their tentpole films this year underperformed what their initial ones did.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, almost everything else feels like fat. I mean, like Phoenician Scheme is fun. Like, what, you're not expecting a crazy...
Yeah, Focus Features, they want to continue to be the home of Wes Anderson. So, yeah, I mean, it was fine. It was fine that that movie did just fine.
Yeah.
But, like, him kind of got slammed when it came out.
Tanner,
and didn't
I'll
make
introduce
that much
a fifth pillar, is I think The Bad Guys 2 should have been bigger. I think they wanted it to be bigger.
Yeah.
I think they wanted to build on the surprise popularity of that first film. But it just didn't. I mean, it's a totally fine, comfortable hit. Fits alongside that first movie. But I think, frankly, I think most people forgot it happened.
Dogman did better than Bad Guys 2.
Oh,
Dogman
really?
was a January release that made like almost $100 million.
Oh, The Bad Guys 2 didn't make $100 million?
I don't think so. I think it probably topped out like 75, 80.
I'm way ahead of you. 82.
Yeah.
And that is compared to The Bad Guys, which made 97. Okay. Not a massive step down, but you're looking for a step up here. And so...
Certainly.
I think that there's no true redeeming factor to this year. They don't have they have some very popular movies, but nothing that's like super well regarded. Megan 2.0, I think, was a thing that they were another play that totally tanked.
Their wins all sort of come with an asterisk as well.
I would say again, other than How to Train Your Dragon, I think
your
dislike of that movie is like.
Sorry, yes, I should note. I was mostly looking at Jurassic World and Wicked there. Those both come with an asterisk of like step downs from previous entries, and like Wicked, you're like it's basically tapped out. Like you close the book. Jurassic World is a franchise that will continue on, obviously.
Oh, sure.
But it's no longer a billion-dollar franchise, it seems.
Tanner, they will find... There's a bunch of those fucking Oz Universe books. They'll.
Do you think they do those?
Yeah, I think so. I think there will be some sort of Oz Universe theatrical project in 3 or 4 years.
Sure.
The Wicked one was too big to stop, Tanner.
Fair, that's fair. How to Train Your Dragon is like the birth of a new franchise for them, which is just the reheating and readaptation of an old franchise, but still. And they still have a good thing going with Five Nights at Freddy's, I suppose. So what do we think? Like a C plus, B minus?
I think B minus, because again, even though like a lot of these things I will give criticism to, or even maybe a B, ultimately people did go see a good chunk of these movies.
They did.
And so like Universal is fine, and a lot of these movies they're not poorly received. They're just like, oh yeah, I thought that was fine. I guess I saw that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think more so if you break it down to like, if we were talking about if Jason Blum, what grade does he get this year? he probably gets like a C.
Yeah.
Or like David Leitch. Right? That's also another tent in the Universal, or another hut in the Universal big tent. David Leitch in 87 North had, Love Hurts, huge flop. Nobody 2.
Monkey Paw. Him
and Monkey
was
Paw,
a massive disappointment.
It was. Yeah.
And with Tanner, at one point in history, weren't we supposed to get the new Jordan Peele movie this year?
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with that. Apparently, like that's just kind of like spinning its wheels right now. It's really disappointing.
Just make a goddamn movie,
so
Jordan.
what? B minus 2025 Universal?
Yeah, I think B minus. Yeah, I have no strong feelings about this year other than I look at it, I'm like,
yeah.
Here's what I'll say is with all of these things, if each of these verticals, creatives, sub studios, partnerships had been working at their absolute A game, this could have been a phenomenal year. If Megan had hit, and Nobody had hit, and Bad Guys had hit, and Jurassic World, and Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and Wicked 1, and Black Phone 1, and an amazing Wes Anderson movie, and their partnership with Monkey Paw, like these are some of the top things of Universal's like last 10 years. All of this stuff could have been. Him could have been the next Nope or Get Out. Phoenician Scene could have been the next Grand Budapest. Nobody 2 was actually kind of the next Nobody. Like that's actually kind of
it's a lateral move.
but almost everything else was a step down, and so like I look at the beginnings and these partnerships as good choices and fruitful, but I see them as kind of waning in almost every single area here.
Yeah. So we got a bunch of we still have some partnerships and some pillars that are going to work in 2026. They have a Colleen Hoover adaptation, the first one of 2026 of 2, I think. Yeah, 2. And Reminders of Him.
Yeah.
Looking to be like a very similar to like a Regretting You sort of situation where it'll do pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. They got the Super Mario Brothers Galaxy movie.
No, drop the brothers. It's cleaner.
Oh, sorry, Super Mario Galaxy movie.
Yeah.
Huge hit. Illumination. They got Yumi and Tuscany.
Arguably, Illumination, their strongest pillar, didn't go this year. Actually, no.
No Illumination this year. They did DreamWorks.
Is that their first time
with no Illumination movies? When did I guess Illumination? Was Despicable Me the first Illumination movie, or did they have stuff before that? That's the first time they like came onto the map, obviously.
Hop.
Oh, Hop.
No, Hop was the next year.
Okay.
There was no 2021 and there's no 2014 one. But other than that...
Sure. Yeah. For the past 10 years, notwithstanding a pandemic year, they've had an Illumination.
Yeah, it feels weird looking at a Universal lineup and be like, wait a second, someone's missing here.
Well, we got 2. They're making up lost time. Yeah. We got 2 in 26 with the Super Mario Galaxy movie and Minions 3. Both assured huge hits. Tucker, I don't want to assume, but I assume they're both in our top 10 predictions for the year. They got Yumi and Tuscany, which is going to be like probably a very small, maybe not even a hit, like romantic thing. They have a new Steven Spielberg movie, Disclosure Day.
Don't they just?
They have dropped a teaser trailer for this for a June release date. They are really positioning this to be like, do not count Steven Spielberg out. We know his last 2 films have sort of underperformed. But he is coming back with a vengeance with a sci-fi action thriller film in the summer.
Yeah.
He is still the king, all right? He is still the king of this shit.
Yeah. Sorry. Don't count him out even though it has been... I don't know, man. It's been like 20 years since he's done this.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because I mean, like, Ready Player One's like his last attempt to do that.
Yeah, that was his last, like, blockbuster film, certainly. Yeah. The movie was successful, wasn't it? Was it?
Not in my mind, but I could be wrong with that. Let me see.
Let's
Beam, I already typed it in. Okay, $600 million. No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
And I think that's also, I think that's like the ceiling for Disclosure Day. Even lower than that, like a 450 ceiling for Disclosure Day, which this movie that would make this movie profitable.
Certainly
certainly his biggest financial hit since Ready Player One. Yeah. But by a significant margin.
Well, we got another auteur under the tent, Tucker. Some might say the guy who's picked up the torch from Spielberg many years ago. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is coming out in July. That classic Nolan blockbuster date. There's been teasers for this attached to Avatar to get the people hyped. I think this is basically an assured home run.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. I think it looks cool. I think everyone's saying like that's not what real Rome looked like. Is fucking
they're nerds and stupid.
Yeah, I think they've got Tanner. I think they've got a javelin up their ass.
Oh, Tucker, very good. Then we have One Night Only, which is another sort of like original comedy coming from these studios. I like that. I'd like to see some more of them amongst the slate. But this one, Tucker, I think sounds really interesting. Do you know what this is?
No.
This is Monica Barbaro and Callum Turner in a high-concept rom-com, where they are two people who are looking to go hook up with random strangers on the one night a year that premarital sex is legal.
We're doing the sex purge, dude.
Yeah, we're doing sex purge. I think this sounds pretty crazy and kind of interesting.
Yeah, sure. A very good premise.
Yeah.
But I don't see anything there that would necessarily make this a hit with a broader audience. I think this is going to be a small play.
It's sort of like what's going on in this movie with some people who are like, oh, I recognize their faces.
I think I've seen them as a supporting character somewhat recently.
Yes. Forgotten Island is a September release. This is a animated movie. What's the animation studio behind this?
It says it right there, Tanner. Look at the poster.
Oh, good, Tucker. So good point.
So good, Tucker. You're so good.
September release date doesn't instill me with a lot of confidence about this.
Yeah.
But is that when Wild Robot came out? September?
Sounds right. Or was that an October thing?
Could have been, but marginal difference there, I would say. Other Mommy, October horror movie. Then
do you know what's it about? Who's in it?
Oh, fucking
Tanner, you gotta know these things. You can't just not know.
I know some of these things. It's directed by Rob Savage. It's produced by James Wan. It's starring Jessica Chastain and J. Duplass. It's about a paranormal entity known as Other Mommy threatens a young girl and starts haunting her home.
You can't just like say the character is actually named that.
The scary ghost is named Other Mommy. Yeah, this is a Blumhouse Atomic Monster production here. Their October horror movie, basically.
Okay, James. All right, Atomic Monster. Show me what you got.
Who is Rob Savage again? What is he? What did he do? Filmography, director. Ooh, I don't know any of these. Oh wait, those are short films. Oh, he's the director of The Boogeyman. Remember The Boogeyman?
That movie sucked.
Oh.
Tanner, we saw The Boogeyman in theaters.
I remember that. I thought it was okay
Tanner,
to bad.
You don't remember Dick Diddles about that fucking movie. I fucking guarantee it.
I remember Sophie Thatcher's in it. I like Sophie Thatcher, I like the movie.
That might have been the first time I saw her. Yeah, that's interesting.
Definitely the first time I saw her. Okay, last two. Focker-in-Law.
We'll see if they can do it, baby.
Ariana Grande's in this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Apparently she's kind of like the main character of it, which is really kind of interesting, and an advancement of like does she work outside of Wicked thing. I think that's like the
question.
Main draw. Mm-hmm. They kind of have two draws. It's like, you remember Meet the Parents / Meet the Fockers? We're doing that again. Legacy sequel to that, and Ariana Grande's in it. Yeah. Oh, and like Ben Stiller and fucking Robert De Niro are coming back and everything.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, I actually put this in a very similar camp to Devil Wears Prada too. Of like, look, those Devil Wears Prada, good movie. The Fokker movies are funny. Let's see if we can do it again. Mm-hmm. And like, obviously, that's just a lot of what we're doing nowadays in Hollywood. But at least Tanner, this is a live action theatrical comedy with a decent sized budget. We don't get those a lot anymore, and it's just like, I will genuinely be able to go to what could be a decently popular live action comedy movie and sit in a full theater of people laughing at fucking
with
Ben
your family.
Stiller. Like that.
With your family,
like,
yeah.
When was the last time I was actually able to, like, seriously do that? Like, I saw The Roses with my dad, I mean, I guess Naked Gun, but like, you know,
yeah.
It's just so rare that I'm like, give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my dad's not going to go see One Night Only, but like, he can go see Fokker with me.
Violent Night 2. Hey, doing that again. Remember that? That did pretty okay, I think.
Yeah.
And it's coming out in a very similar slot.
There wouldn't be a second one if it didn't.
That's a good point, Tucker. That's a good point. Okay, 2026 Universal. What do we feel? I mean, they're going back to some bread and butter, but other than that,
there are 3 slam dunks here and 1 potential slam dunk, and and frankly, everything else here I think seems
pretty marginal.
No, not marginal. I think it seems properly targeted.
Sure.
There's nothing here where I smell a stink on it. I mean, obviously,
like,
Minions...
if it doesn't work, it's marginal. I think is kind of what my point was.
Yeah, true. I mean, you know, DreamWorks is coming back next year with Shrek 5. That's why Minions 3 is this year. And so Forgotten Island's kind of like a neither here nor there. But like, you know, their last original movie, again, unlike Disney or unlike Pixar, you're like, hey, you know, you give that a shot. They've actually been decently successful in recent times. They're building on a new IP. They got some Atomic Monster here. Live action
they have
comedies,
some
romance movies,
big auteurs in their corner. Are we talking like a?
I think this is an A minus.
Okay.
Or you know what? Do I say
it's small?
Yeah, I think I say an A minus because it's small. If they had a couple more things here, I think I would bump it up to an A. But like, I feel pretty good about everything here in terms of like, I bet you this is going to make its money back and then some.
Yeah. Okay. So an A. I'm okay with an A.
Yeah.
Or say A.
I said A minus. What do you think?
Oh, we can do A minus. Yeah, so that's probably what I was thinking too. Okay.
Sony.
Very good. You gotta watch our Sinners quest review to get that one.
No, you just gotta watch fucking Sinners, Tanner.
Oh well, yeah, but you also watch our review ideally. So Sony 2025, I think, is a very different story if you don't include their Crunchyroll anime releases.
Well, I mean, yeah. Yeah, because then it's what? It's really just... Well, I guess one of them days, 28 years later, in Anaconda are all
one of them days was
hits.
like a pretty good January original comedy hit that people largely forgot about. Paddington didn't really connect like the other ones have until Dawn was like did okay. Karate Kid Legends was kind of pretty much a disappointment for their summer release. 28 years later was a big, was a fairly solid hit. They're making sequels now. I Know What You Did Last Summer, Travesty, Caught Stealing, didn't really connect, and Big Bold Beautiful Journey was a flop.
That's a bad movie, Tanner.
Yeah, it's a bad movie. And Anaconda opened over Christmas and is doing pretty good.
Yeah. I liked One of Them Days. I remember that movie decently fondly. It actually did decently well.
It did.
20 years later, I think all of that applies to as well. Really liked that movie. It did surprisingly well. Obviously, sequel coming imminently. And then Anaconda. Like those are the 3 quote unquote pillars of the non-animation.
That is what worked for them.
Yes. Tanner, I get bad vibes looking at this lineup.
Yeah, it doesn't look good, huh? Especially if I just use my thumb to cover those anime movies. I'm like, that's the C range right there, I think.
Yeah, but Demon Slayer.
We gotta talk about it.
Huh.
That is a partnership that they made. And they, distributed these movies in the US. I say it's a partnership they made. A lot of these studios, a lot of these movies are partnerships they made or whatever. So how much are we willing to say?
Sony owns Crunchyroll.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. Sorry.
I don't. In terms of like who actually animates the movie, like the studio, that's
of course like the animation houses in Japan who distribute in the U.S. through Crunchyroll.
Yeah. But yeah, Sony does own Crunchyroll. That's why all this stuff comes through them.
So I think what will be useful here is what would we give the non-anime releases of Sony 2025? C?
Yeah.
C minus?
Absolutely. I think
C.
I think a C is because or maybe C plus.
Okay.
One of Tanner, what did we literally just talk about? Live action theatrical comedies. They had 2 of them, and both of them did well. They had
2. Yes, that's a good point. That's a great point. Okay, so let's say C plus.
Yeah, let's say C plus.
And then we drag it up for Demon Slayer, Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, sort of hits descending in that order.
I think Demon Slayer is big enough to bump it up to a B. And I think that the trinity of them all being successful in their own right is definitely enough to bump it up to at least a B.
Okay. We can stick with a B. I think a B is fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, man, it just feels so different. Those 2 parts of the company.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, but honestly, they probably don't interact. And
no,
they're probably not even like. There's probably not even like producers that are actively working on both of them.
No, I mean, like, again, these are basically like anime series that are made and packaged together as movies to be released worldwide.
That is actually true. Yeah, it's like actually just anime episodes.
It's just the episodes that come out
crazy.
before the show.
I've never seen one of those myself. Every anime movie I've seen has been like an original story featuring those characters. From like Pokemon, Dragon Ball, and My Hero.
My
Hero. But yeah, I give Sony credit for their commitment to anime and growing it. I mean, this was easily the biggest year for anime movies that I've seen. But I honestly think that other than like, okay, yes, live action comedies, I don't think I can give them credit almost anywhere else. I mean, they did so much horror this year and most of it flopped. And they... Did they kind of sully Paddington's good name this year? Which maybe
I think they might have.
Maybe that's even actually worth like knocking down.
That might be. That's a sin. That's a sin. No, let's say a B. Let's say a B for Sony.
Yeah. But because honestly, when I'm looking here, because I didn't see and you didn't see any of the anime movies, I acknowledge those. But I think the reason why I get a stink off of this is nothing here was a win for me. I like 28 Years Later is a great movie. I don't like. I don't love that movie though, and so it's just like for me, I'm like, there was a good movie in there, but that's like I'm looking for more than that. Sorry, Sony, you kind of stink, but also like, don't they almost always kind of stink? So like,
yeah, they've never really been the creme de la creme, ever really.
Let's see what they got next year.
Yeah. Okay. So next year we start off with the sequel to 28 Years Later. 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple is looking to be a modest hit in January.
Yeah.
They have Goat. Tucker, do you think Goat is going to work?
No.
Okay.
Tanner.
I don't know.
It feels like a fucking Paws of Fury thing.
Really? I kind of get different vibes from it. I kind of get the vibes that like I don't obviously have no idea if like families and kids are actually interested in this, but you know. It's got a big cast, as these animated movies often do. I think it's playing into like the sports angle of things.
Tanner, I get Rock Dog, Smallfoot, Monster Trucks vibes off of this.
This is Tucker. Obviously, this movie is operating at a higher tenor than those movies. I think that's undeniable.
I said what I said.
Okay.
The oracle has spoken, Tanner.
Tucker, who released those movies? Let me ask you that. And when were they released?
You could have told me it was Sony.
It very well may have been. Yeah. I think they are trying to position this to be something a little bit more major than fucking Rock Dog or whatever the fuck you said.
I did say Rock Dog. Yeah, I said Rock Dog, Smallfoot, and Monster Trucks. Now that's a live action movie, but it still gives me.
But they're also bolstering like, hey, this is the animators behind Spider-Verse and K-pop Demon Hunters. Like they're actually truly trying to sell this.
Okay, that does give it a boost. That I was not aware of that.
Yeah. Have you seen the trailer for this in theaters in front of anything?
No, I haven't.
Okay,
but maybe it's just the poster, Tanner. Maybe looking at the poster, I get Rock Dog energy off of it.
Listen, I don't think this is gonna be like, wow, they're rivaling. Like, I don't think this is gonna be a Spider-Verse sized hit or even a K-pop Demon Hunters sized thing. I think it'll be a pretty okay attempt, like a February kids movie.
Now, I want to tell you, Monster Trucks is a Paramount movie. Smallfoot is a Warner Brothers movie. And Rock Dog.
Yeah, telling you Rock Dog.
Rock Dog with drum roll, please. I don't recognize Summit. I don't recognize anything here. Lionsgate, distributed by Lionsgate. Well,
sure.
That's a bad thing.
Yeah,
but my point about Smallfoot and monster trucks and stuff is like, these attempts continue to happen even from big distributors, and that does not correlate to them actually having any meaningful popularity or success. So I'm perfectly happy to see this as a surprise, but
sure.
Even though I've now learned some more and I'm more informed now, the Oracle spoke, and I can't say anything against the Oracle.
That's fair. You opened Pandora's box. That's fair enough. Scarlet is like an anime movie, but it's not like a Demon Slayer or Chainsaw Man thing. I think it might be an original anime movie. I don't think this is really major enough to spend any time on.
I have never heard of it.
The Breadwinner, starring Nate Bargatze. This is a family comedy built around a very famous stand-up comedian.
Yeah, but it's a family comedy.
Yes. I don't think that we've had
My Brother in Christ, it is not 2006 anymore. I'm sorry, Nathan.
Yeah, it is. We're getting some strong 2006
This is a Tooth Fairy ass movie, Tanner.
Yes, certainly. And, I'm sure the movie will address this, so I don't want to jump all over it too much, but, like, it's 2026. How much juice is there in doing, like, a Mr. Mom kind of thing?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like the concept is evergreen enough, but
fair enough.
I think that
I guess that's Nate Bargatze's whole bit too. Is that like I'm an idiot, and my wife and my kids are smarter than me, or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. Yeah,
yeah.
We'll see. I mean, it's one of those ones where it ultimately is untested because Nate Bargatze hasn't been in a movie before, and it also has been a very long time since we've gotten a comedy of any kind like this that was like a testing ground for a provenly very popular stand-up in terms of ticket sales, in terms of popularity of his specials and things.
Yeah, does that translate to box office money?
The Oracle says no, Tanner. The Oracle says no one knows this is happening, and children do not care about Nate Bargatze. That's what the Oracle says. And also, like, no, I get nothing out of this. Sorry.
Shiver is a survival thriller movie starring Phoebe Dynevor and Jaimin Hansu that's releasing over the 4th of July weekend. I don't think this is going to be anything to talk about, really.
I mean, summer feels like a weird place for that.
I would tend to agree. This might get delayed. Tucker, have you heard of Spider-Man?
I've heard of Spider-Man. Yeah, the Spider-Man.
Have you heard of this? So he's got, like, the powers of a spider, right?
But he also happens to be a guy.
He happens to be a boy, a 30-year-old boy.
This is so true. But he's back.
He's back in a big way, Tucker. Tucker, hot take, I think this movie's going to perform very well.
Yeah. I will say, I think one of my biggest reservations about this is not one that many people share, but is that I think that Destiny Cretin is not necessarily an asset to me in the way that I feel like he is to many people. I think that the action sequences are going to be fucking sick as hell in this. That is not my problem with Destiny Cretin. But I think that the tone of John Watts' trilogy is the strongest part to me. It's cohesive. Yeah. I like those characters a lot. They've got a good balance.
The high school stuff. The everything like that. I think it's definitely right. And listen, a lot of that also comes down to like the writers. I don't know who's writing this movie. A lot of this is going to be controlled like by the MCU and by Sony, I guess, more technically speaking, who are in charge of this production. I think ultimately, end of the day, things are going to shake out just fine for Spider-Man.
No, I'm not that worried about it, but I'm not. It doesn't get a boost for me in the way that many people are like, oh, fucking finally, we got John Watts out of there. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Fucking No Way Home and Homecoming are two of my favorite movies of all time. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. But no, I think this is an end of July movie, so it's got all of August to like run the table basically. And I tried to stay away from what people are like piecing together the plot of this movie is. I've seen like plot leaks and stuff like that. Sadie Sink is in this.
I've seen like 7 characters that are supposedly in this. I'm like, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Obviously huge hit. Insidious. Hang on, I gotta figure out what this movie is called again because this movie has changed titles like 18,000 times.
Are we getting Thread this year? Is that movie happening?
Oh, is this Thread? No, this is something else. Insidious movie 2026. It's called something different. Insidious: The Bleeding World.
That's what it says.
That's what it is
on your thing.
Oh, does it? Okay, good.
Why aren't you looking at your own posters?
It's a little too small because I have us off to the side, so I can't really read the small text.
Control plus, my guy.
I don't want to. Eat my ass is my response to that.
Whoa.
So this is supposedly coming out. You know, the Insidious franchise has been a little bit in flux since 2023. This seems to have no return. Oh, sorry, Lin Shaye is obviously returning for this. I should say that. August 21st. People like Insidious. Insidious: The Red Door was a huge hit. And Conjuring was a huge hit. Similarly,
yeah, this will be fine. This will be fine.
This will be just fine.
It's one of those ones where I remember liking some of the Insidious movies, and also some of the Conjuring movies. For me, the reason why Red Door and Last Rites and now Bleeding World, like why I don't personally get any juice from that is I'm like this. It feels like a franchise that was finished, like had a solid run in the 2010s. We don't need to still be doing this. But I don't know. Maybe I'll like find it in me to like revisit Insidious movies over the course of this year and like build up some excitement. Like because a lot of the reason we used to get hyped for a lot of movies is we would rewatch either the series or the director's work going into a film, and then you'd really have a lot of context. But like again, obviously I watched Red Door, but like I haven't seen all the Insidious movies for like 6 years. So like that was like I'm like, oh, I'm getting into horror. I'm gonna watch all the Insidious movies. So yeah, I don't know. Like I'm sure this will be big though.
Yeah.
But then there's Resident Evil.
There's Zach Cregger's Resident Evil. I think this is gonna have a lot of juice coming off of Weapons, obviously, and it has the name recognition. It is not apparently like adapting any of the games. Like we're not gonna get a Leon S. Kennedy or a Jill Valentine. Though. Yeah, it is. Is this September? I want to say or October. Resident Evil comes out on September 18th, so can run into the October month for Halloween. I think this will be a hit.
Yeah, September's a little odd for that. September. I honestly think that we've started to realize September's also a dumping ground.
Yeah, of course.
And also September horror movies just like. How often does that actually work? I mean, we've just seen so many of them tank recently.
Yeah. Well, like Saw X was released in September, and that performed pretty well.
Sure. Yeah. Well, but also, Zach Cregger is actually now a draw name, and also Resident Evil is a big enough series. And to be honest, I would say that to most people, there hasn't really been a Resident Evil movie, even though there's been like fucking 9 of them. Like. Most of them people don't know about, or like that doesn't really count as Resident Evil.
I could honestly see this swapping with like either Insidious in August or Social Reckoning in October, and maybe feeling a little bit better to me. But maybe and maybe it's just because we have that like September dumping ground bias a little bit.
Yeah.
Speaking of Social Reckoning. Fucking sequel to The Social Network. What? Excuse me? Directed by Aaron Sorkin. What? Excuse me? Starring Jeremy Strong as Mark Zuckerberg. What? Excuse me? Also, Mikey Madison and Jeremy Allen White are in this.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I
don't think this is gonna work.
No, I don't think this is gonna.
Ask me.
I don't think it's gonna hit any bar. I mean, the only thing I can partially prognosticate is Aaron Sorkin. In his last few works, actually has been consistently in conversation for awards. He hasn't won, but he got a Best Picture nomination.
He does,
and it's a sequel to a Best Picture nominee. And so there's a chance that this hits the zeitgeist at the right time, not for popularity, not for making money, but for
Tucker,
people like Aaron Sorkin.
They're recreating January 6th. What's going on?
I don't know, man.
What are we talking about?
But I think that's one of those things where I think it feels odd, but it might hit people in the right way. We're like, this is important to talk about right now.
Yeah, but it might also be like a dumb money situation.
It certainly might be. It certainly might be.
Yeah.
But yeah. Tanner, what's Archangel?
Archangel, Tucker, is a is an action. Very good. Is an action film starring Jim Caviezel, the guy who played Jesus, and the guy from Sound of Freedom.
I heard about that.
When's
that
a weapon...
fucking Resurrection of the Christ coming out?
2027. I think May or April 2027. He's a special forces soldier, Tucker, and he has to protect his Wyoming neighbors and homeland from the aggressive machinations of a corporation.
Tony, how did you end up with a Lionsgate movie?
Yeah, what the fuck? This is a Lionsgate picture, you idiots.
Guys. Oopsie! Anyway. We put the Long Run logo on the trailer, bro.
And then Jumanji 4. Or 3, if you don't want to count that first one with Robin Williams. This iteration of Jumanji 3. What do you think, Tucker? What do you think?
They're all back?
Ben Johnson, still a massive star. Jack Black, bigger star than ever. Kevin Hart, Karen Gillan, still in this thing. Yeah. Still in it for the long run.
I will say, I think we're maybe underselling Kevin Hart. He's very popular for streaming stuff.
Of course. Yeah, sorry. I just meant his star power hasn't really changed by any means.
Yeah. I think it has changed from theatrical.
Fair enough.
Has he been in a theatrical film?
Dude, he's just in gambling ads now. He doesn't do movies anymore.
And those fucking dumb where he's like an elf on the shelf. You ever see those fucking things?
Oh, with him and Melissa McCarthy. Yeah. He's like, I got a big head on a tiny body.
But it's funny because I'm usually tiny.
Yeah.
Fucking Kevin.
I think this will still be a hit.
Oh, he was in a theatrical movie.
Huh?
We saw it in a theater. It's called Borderlands.
Oh yeah. Well, Tucker, to be fair, that movie was shot in like 2005.
That's a very
good
point. Yeah. I think this will be big, and I think
so too.
I think it's just because specifically for the family audience, Dwayne Johnson and Jack Black are as big as you can get.
Just inexplicably, there is hundreds of millions of dollars of audience for these movies. Mm-hmm. Inexplicably. I don't know. These movies suck. I don't know. Let's move on. Oh, wait. 2026 Sony?
I think
I think there's a lot on here that makes me go, what? No. But then they have Spider-Man and Jumanji and Insidious.
And Resident Evil. And Bone Temple.
And Resident Evil.
Like, I think that group of movies is strong.
I think everything else is kind of signals weakness to me, though.
I don't think it signals weakness any more or less than a lot of the fucking schmid tier stuff from if you put that up against I'm just looking at the Ella McKay and Springsteen and the Roses and the Amateur, it's not we're talking about a similar tier here, I think.
Okay, that's fair.
And they also some of them feel like fucking Lionsgate movies. But I think B.
B. Okay. They get a B in 2025. They get a B in 2026.
Yeah, will be interesting to see. And then in retrospect, if we review this next year, how it goes up. If they do announce more anime movies, there's no anime. Scarlett's here, but anime series.
I tried to sort through what was coming for Crunchyroll releases. I didn't really see anything. Anything that seemed to be obviously I don't know anime, but I know that Demon Slayer is famous and Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen are famous. But I got the one that's I got turned into a slime or whatever. That's having a movie.
Reincarnated as slime, yeah.
I got reincarnated as a slime.
That's a pretty big series, but who the fuck knows?
I just don't know. I just don't know about it. Okay, should we talk? Should we climb the mountain, Tucker? Climb the mountain.
Oh wait, no. Oh wait, yeah.
Player Mountain.
Yeah, I thought somewhere. Honestly, I thought somehow you were making a Lionsgate joke.
No.
Tanner.
No.
What is it? Just because all this shifting over leadership stuff? What happened?
Yeah, it seems like a year in flux for Paramount.
Yeah,
that's got to be it. That's got to be it. But 8 movies, seriously. But Novocaine didn't connect. I think we kind of already talked about that. Novocaine was a disappointment for them. They're small budgeted, so really what
Yeah.
Mission Impossible. We've been no. What am I saying?
Been new.
We've been new that they've been losing money on these things.
Yeah.
For admirable reasons. They paid everybody. They made both these movies through the pandemic and paid everybody while the production was on break and everything. But Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, if we're being honest, if we will look at the high range of budgeting, is insanely highly budgeted and didn't make that much money back.
And it wasn't like particularly. It was well received, but not like specifically so.
I think that we can maybe look at it as like a kind of a yeesh ending. Like broadly speaking, I really enjoyed the movie still, but like broadly speaking, people were pretty perplexed by this one. I think.
Yeah, I don't know. 80% Rotten Tomatoes, 72 on IMDb, 3.5 on Letterboxd. I think this is like
fair enough.
Yeah, it's a solid movie. Yeah, I'll saw it. Yeah, but
fair enough. Smurfs. Naked Gun. Hey, very admirable of them. That's a funny movie. Very admirable of them to try and bring back the cinematic comedy in the summer. I think it worked out pretty well. Like everyone's like, yeah, kind of like a second base hit for Naked Gun.
Yeah, but then when we think about that in comparison to Anaconda,
yeah.
Well, actually, no. Anaconda's not necessarily done. Naked Gun made over $100 million. So,
sure.
And Anaconda has not yet. Actually, those are comparable. Those are comparable.
Okay, fair enough. Roofman was like a weird play, I think. And I don't think people really went out to see it. I've seen more people watching it on streaming now, which does not bode well for us grading it, I think.
Sure.
Regretting You legged out very, very well. Ended up being a hit. So I think that's a thumbs up from us.
Sure.
But, Running Man.
I mean, thumbs up from us in like the most vague sense, Tanner.
Yes, none of us watched the movie. The Running Man, Tucker.
That's a thumbs down in terms of
that's
like
a thumbs down.
Something that could have been, but just wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Pretty massive bomb.
Yeah. And then the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, the SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants.
Yes.
Apparently that's fine. Apparently it's like decent and it's got a fucking annoying song and it's apparently making a decent amount of money. But Tanner, there's no real win here.
No.
This was bad. This is.
Are we gonna give this a D or
C minus?
Let's go C.
C
minus. C minus.
Yeah. Yeah, because well, I mean, like, Smurfs and Naked Gun and Regretting You and SpongeBob are all, like, comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, none of those movies lost money. People went to see them. But they didn't do anything spectacular in any particular category.
No. Where was there... I mean, again, Mission Impossible ended up in, like, the top 15 domestic highest grossing or whatever, and similarly for worldwide, but that movie was, if you look at the financials of it, not a win for Paramount. No. So C minus I think is pretty fair. 2026, they have a couple horror movies up front here. Primate is looking to do okay this weekend, pretty good. Scream 7 has a lot of baggage attached to it. I don't know if that will translate over to like a hit at the box office.
I don't think he'll care. I don't think people care because what the baggage has led to is that you have the original stars back in a more premier role.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, even though I think they're fine, the cast of the 5 and 6 are not things that they're not box office draw. I think Scream 7 with the stars of the original movie front facing is like I don't see how this would necessarily do worse than 5 or 6.
Sure, I can see that. I think that just the vibe that I've gotten from people in this is online, people who know this stuff about it, but like they're like even people who don't know what the deal is with this just kind of don't seem as invigorated by it as they were by 5.
Now I will say, the thing that I think could cause this to have a drop is that it's not fresh anymore. A lot of the reason why a reboot might work is it's been a long time. I'm feeling it. We're actually starting to get. I think this, other than Halloween, this is the first horror reboot to hit a trilogy. And
true.
What do you remember of, horror franchises of bygone eras? Is that especially when you're kicking them out every 2 to 3 years, there are diminishing returns at a certain point. And so diminishing returns is the thing that I think would hold this back. Is like, I've seen 2 of those in the last few years. Like, I'm not that worried about going to see another one.
I do want to just recall something, because you said, none of the new cast are box office draws. Jenna Ortega is a box office draw.
Oh, that's definitely true. No, you're right. That's definitely true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll see.
Anyway, we can move on. Hit Me Hard and Soft. The tour of the movie, co-directed by Billie Eilish and James Cameron. Really interesting. I think this will bring out a lot of fans. I don't think it'll be like a Taylor Swift Eras Tour thing, but I think it'll be a fairly big hit because Billie Eilish has a lot of fans.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's one of those things that I think that's the only thing you can base off of. Is that we want to see this, we're curious about this, we're interested in this person, because this is something that's just very different, as we saw with the other concert movies recently. People like them, and they're very different from what is usually offered in the theatrical marketplace. And so
this is also this pitching itself as like a cinematic experience too, not just like a hey, come to the thing, listen to the music, jam out. It's like, no, this is like we're going to be doing something with like 3D and Cameron
and it's a little more of a documentary-ish thing about her as a person,
definitely.
and her
not
relationship with her brother and stuff like that. So I might even go see this.
Sure.
The only Billie Eilish song I could tell you happened was "Bad Guy," and that was like 10 years ago almost. But obviously the James Cameron name definitely helps it for me, and so it's like, I'm kind of curious to see what he does in terms of his skill. They dropped the S, Tanner. What happened to the S on Passengers?
Passenger, Tucker, I saw the trailer for this before Primate, and this is a movie that's like, what if Scary Car?
Huh?
So the trailer for this seems to be two guys in a car, one guy gets out to pee on the side of the road, he comes back, his friend is gone, there's a scary ghost monster sound thing. He hops in the car, he's driving, and he keeps passing by the same person over and over again. So a scary ghost haunting a road or a car, maybe? I don't know. This comes out the week after Mandalorian and Grogu, so I don't think they're anticipating anything huge out of it.
Tanner, from the director of Last Voyage of Demeter.
Yes, Andre Ovidal.
Yeah. That was fine. I'm sure this will be fine. But I don't think anyone will fucking care.
Or very bad, maybe.
Yeah, it could be.
Scary Movie 6. Let's hash this one out a little bit.
I think that there's a chance that
the
exact opposite thing of what I said about Scream is true for this. It has been so fucking long since we've gotten a scary movie. And there's so much horror of the last 10 years to pull from. And horror is the most consistent and also like one of the strongest communities in terms of like horror fans will go see fucking anything. They're very passionate about it. There's tropes, there's conversation, there's characters, there's iconic moments. You can make fun of fucking A24, you can make fun of reboots. Like, there's so much stuff to work with here. You can make fun of fucking Scream. You can make fun of fucking Scream. And so like
Scream isn't even making fun of Scream anymore.
This is true. I think there's a chance that this is like a perfect synergistic moment for this.
Yeah, I think we could see. I think best case scenario is that this is like Naked Gun +2 kind of situation.
Sure.
Yeah, I think this will work. It really just depends on like, is it actually funny? You know, that's kind of my thing. Is that like. Because scary movies that people remember are like the first 2, and then the rest of them are pretty dire.
Have you seen all of them?
We'll see. No, I've seen 5.
I like the first one.
The first one's good, but 5 is fucking. Again, I'm gonna keep using the phrase radioactive.
Oh sure, okay. Paw Patrol the movie will make a good amount of money, and we won't give a fuck.
Yep. Street Fighter, Tucker, is this going to work? Yes, no.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay.
The Oracle has spoken.
Okay, the Oracle has spoken. I think this will kind of. I think people are mildly entertained by the idea.
That's not good.
That's not good. We'll see what the marketing continues to look like. This comes out in like middle of October.
Yeah, there's plenty of time.
We'll see what the But also, this is a very popular video game franchise that truly hasn't been mined in the modern era.
Here's the interesting thing, Tanner. It is. It's an iconic, long-standing video game franchise. Street Fighter games don't actually sell that well, and so the fan base is not that big. A Mortal Kombat game will sell like almost twice as much as a Street Fighter game, like on average within an era. And so I think that iconography is really the only thing you can work off of here, and of course, decently popular cast members from a couple of different audiences.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think any one of them, especially because it's such an ensemble, is big enough to make this like, it's not going to gather the eyes of any broader audience. This is for nerds. I think
it's for. Well, I think the marketing they're trying to spool is also like this is a rollicking good time, just people punching and kicking and like knocking each other through walls and stuff. Like, I think that it's trying to pitch itself as like you could come to this and just have fun for 2 hours watching people do crazy martial arts stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The Oracle's not particularly happy with it. We'll just say that.
Fair enough. Tucker, this is remains one of the most confusing things I've ever seen come out of the film industry in my time. Ebenezer: A Christmas Carol, starring an adaptation of Charles Dickens's A Christmas Carol, starring Johnny Depp, directed by Ty West. What?
Tanner, is the Ty West putting out Pearl and X in 1 year to Maxine and Ebenezer? Is that like that's like a fucking Taika Waititi level flip flop?
It's a pretty major fall off. Now the question for this is: Johnny Depp still has fans. Johnny Depp still has shooters. Are they going to see
is
him
shooter a word for
as...
fan?
Yes.
Okay, never fucking heard that before.
Don't worry about it. Are they going to see him as Ebenezer Scrooge? Do they want to see him as Ebenezer Scrooge, or are they like, I like Jack Sparrow?
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it depends on how much they, like, characterize him and, like, focus on him. I don't know. But I don't see much happening here. But like they could push this, and they could push it as again from a director that made a couple of popular movies, a decently respected director, and with one of the
horror movies, like gnarly horror movies. Well, this is gonna be like is this gonna be like a family
I don't think
movie?
So. I think it's gonna be a darker thing. I think if you get the because also what does Johnny Depp want to be seen as now? I don't think he can be seen as a family icon anymore.
I don't think so either.
So I think you gotta make this kind of like he's a fucking really just shitty guy who hates everything and fucking hates Christmas. Fuck you, movie.
Yeah, but not like also not in a fun way, because like Jim Carrey's the Christmas Carol thing. He's like it's Jim Carrey doing a thing where like we love to see him as a grump kind of thing. It's fun to watch him be a grump. Whereas is this gonna be like a like really dark and gothic and serious?
Could be kind of interesting.
I mean, that sounds to me like box office poison. It's like, oh, it's a Christmas movie, but it's really dark and dour. I was like, who wants to see that?
Violent Night.
Nobody. Violent Night. Well, that's like fun action. Santa kills people. This is like, hey, starring children, but like not in a fun or joyous way.
We'll see. We will see.
Yeah.
And then the Angry Birds movie 3. God damn, it's been so long since we got a fucking Angry Birds movie.
Do kids know what Angry Birds is?
Absolutely.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's a little bit of me being an old man yelling at a cloud, I guess.
There are a bunch of new Angry Birds games.
Sure.
I don't know. We'll see what happens on the game.
Are they in Roblox? Is the question.
Tanner, I guarantee you. I guarantee you. I've never seen it myself.
This will be fine. I think. Okay. 2026 Paramount. We gave them a C for it's on the screen. Don't worry about it. A C or C minus for 2025. 2026 B minus. C plus.
How is this better? Angry Birds.
The hits that they're going to have won't have an asterisk next to them, I think. Scream will be a hit without an asterisk.
Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol will be a hit with that next year, but they also won't be as big as Mission Impossible.
Oh no, yeah. But we also, I think we, I think we have to be fair to.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't have a Mission Impossible, and I think that's what makes it feel weird. But also, like, if these movies hit their audiences, as frankly it kind of seems like Primate already is, yeah, you know what? Ebenezer's the only thing here that I think has some true stink on it. I think Street Fighter for me is the next one up of like, in terms of like potentially falling from grace. But the rest of them is like, Paw Patrol's gonna do fine, Angry Birds gonna do fine, Scary Movie can do fine, Scream's gonna do fine, Hit Me Hard and Soft's gonna do fine. All these are going to do fine, with the potential of maybe breaking out a little bit. Maybe Scary Movie 6 does a little better than we're expecting. Maybe Hit Me Hard and Soft is the next Eras Tour. There is the potential for these. So this is definitely a better lineup. I would say it's not as impressive, but I'd say it's maybe a B- in terms of like
I think consistency a B-
and
feels
scale
right.
and that kind of thing.
B- feels right.
Yeah.
Okay, Tucker, let's move on to the bottom of the barrel. We got two more here, and then we'll get to our predictions, folks.
Yeah.
Lionsgate.
There's not a lot to go through. Because
do we need to go through this? Good lord.
Because what happens with Lionsgate is they just got these fucking movies with fucking people in them. They fucking put them out and no one cares. This year, though, to their credit, Tanner, I think there are 3.5 wins here. I give a half win to Flight Risk because it's like, okay, like that made a fucking fine amount of money given that it was a January movie. Slop. That's 5 slops in a row.
Whoa, the quintuple slop.
It's a quintuple slop. Long Walk, surprising hit. Very good movie. Yeah. Made a good amount of money.
I liked it a lot. Yeah, Slop. I don't know. I didn't see it. Is it funny? I'm not sure. But I don't think it made any fucking money. And then Hit. 3 hits out of 12 movies that we got there. No, sorry. What the fuck? Oh, yeah, 12. I'm doing basic math correctly. Is very bad odds. But it also means it's not entirely dire, and the success of The Long Walk, Now You See Me, Now You Don't, and The Housemaid probably makes up for the most of the rest of these. I think. Not in terms, I mean, like, literally financially, not in terms of, like, reception or whatever. The Housemaid surprise hit. Apparently people really cared about Now You See Me, Now You Don't more than I expected them to. But also, this is what Lionsgate does, is they've got a John Wick or a Hunger Games in a year, and so they're like, see, look, we do IP, come work with us. And then they fucking hire actors that people recognize, because almost all these movies have big name actors in them that were all popular at one point, like Zachary Levi and Sydney Sweeney and Ana de Armas and Keanu Reeves. Like, hey, like, you're not besmirching any. Well, you might besmirch some of their good names, frankly. Yeah, you could. One of those guys, especially, you could definitely besmirch one of their good names.
But yeah, this is. Is this a B- as well? I mean, or C+?
C+. Let's do C+.
Actually, you know what, Tanner? I don't think it's possible for Lionsgate to get higher than a C.
No. You managed to make like a John Wick style universe movie not work somehow. Like you took one of your franchises, like one of your very few franchises that works, and you turned it into kind of like a oof. That was a hit. Yeah. That was a hit to the system. Yeah.
Yeah. So what, C+?
C+.
Okay. Now here's
because they do have 2 end of year hits.
Yeah, and Long Walk also counts.
Yeah, true. 2026.
Here's what I'll say. I think Lionsgate, I don't think it matters, but it's important to note this is going to grow a lot over the course of the year. Lionsgate, more than anyone else, just fucking like pick up things and like have movies that we didn't know about and like, oh, this is fucking
yeah.
And so I would say that there's another comfortable 4 or 5 or 6 additional movies that just come out of the woodwork. Because that's how I feel like I learn about most Lionsgate movies. Like, oh, this is coming out in like a month. I'm like, huh? And it's got like a star in it. I'm like, huh? But
so let's go through them. Greenland 2 is out this weekend and is looking to do not very well. Maybe like 10 million this weekend. Maybe.
That's worse than not very well, Tanner.
Yeah, it's not good. And the movie's really boring. I watched it and it's really boring. So let's call that a stinker.
Strangers Chapter 3. God.
Whoo. It's like touching the stove for a third time, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, Tanner, I will watch both those Stranger Chapter movies and watch this one alongside you.
Sounds good. I got burned on the first one, and I'm doing it again. Like, I'm touching the stove. I'm like, there could be interesting stuff in 3. Like, the end of it leaves it open to, like, could be something interesting there.
We will see.
We'll see. I Can Only Imagine 2 is like a Christian worship music movie. Whatever. This is kind of my feeling. Let me look up how the first one did, actually.
I've never heard of the first one.
Only
Had you?
Imagine. Maybe I just know the song. $86 million.
Okay.
That's on a $7 million budget. Yeah, I think that'll do just
7 or
70?
70?
7.
Okay. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll see. Yeah.
Okay. Tucker, should we skip Michael and allow for us to talk about it at the end? Because this is maybe the opportunity for us to talk about that. Okay. Power Ballad is a summer comedy starring Paul Rudd and Nick Jonas. It's about 2 guys and they like to sing or something, I guess. Summer comedy, yeah. I don't feel too great about this.
No, I
don't feel too great about it. Mutiny, it's a Jason Statham movie. He's like a sailor guy and he kills people on a boat.
That'll do fine.
It's coming out in August. And then they have a Hunger Games movie coming out this year. I think this is just going to be a repeat, but bigger than Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Yeah, I think it'll be bigger. They started the marketing for this so early. I saw that fucking trailer. Pretty good trailer, I will say that.
Pretty good trailer.
I like the part where all the kids are around the thing and it's doing the countdown. 10, 9,
yeah.
I'm like,
cool.
Locking into Hunger Games mode. Beep bop. Especially because like this seems to be more focused on like an actual Hunger Games.
This is going to be the Hunger Games thing.
I was like thinking back to
it's
like there was a Hunger Games in it, but like
there's a Hunger Games. The main character is not in the Hunger Games, and half of the movie is him like being a soldier.
Yeah.
So yes,
also, Tanner, I get the fuking audiobook ad for this movie all the time. It's this fucking guy with kind of a nasally voice. He's like, "Don't feed the nightmares. They've eaten enough," or something like that. I'm like,
Tucker, I'm gonna feed the night bears. Hashtag feed the night bears. November 2026. Don't feed the
nightmares. Amazon MGM Studio. Oh wait, no, we need to grade this shit.
Michael.
Oh, the end of Lionsgate. I think it was the end of the
end of Lionsgate. Let's do it. So, do you just not? What are your feelings on Michael, Tucker? This comes out on April 24th.
I don't know, man.
Okay. Do you think this is gonna be? Because I think this is gonna be a huge hit.
No, I think that you're probably right. I think I've built a reputation between you and me of me being a Michael hater because I made fun of you to not have it in your top for having it in your top 10. I don't think it'll be in the top 10. And as I kind of hinted at earlier, I don't think it'll be in the top 15 highest grossing domestic movies. But that doesn't mean it won't make, $250 million or something like that. It's like, hey, that's a lot of money. That's certainly profitable. Fair enough. I just don't think we're looking at it like we can't keep basing everything off of the fucking Bohemian Rhapsody. Like, that was just a total outlier.
Or is it?
We keep saying, it's like, oh, when's the next Bohemian Rhapsody? We've been saying that for fucking 7 years. We can't...
Jugger, I maintain that truly everything that we've been like, oh, we're modeling this off of Bohemian Rhapsody. None of the people we've made movies about are as big as Queen.
I think that's true.
It is truly Queen, upcoming ones. I think there are others, and this is a conversation that does not pertain to here. But it is Queen, Michael Jackson, and the Beatles are the ones that I have faith in.
All right.
Everything else, I'm like, best of luck to you.
Yeah, and then we get the Kanye one.
Soon. Okay, Amazon. Oh wait, we gotta grade it. I almost forgot. Lions. See, so we gave them a C+ in 2025.
This is better.
Of course, it will be filled out with shit.
Which is what bogs a Lionsgate year down. It isn't like they don't have a couple of hits a year that people care about. But Lionsgate, when you see the names Lionsgate, your mind is not filled with confidence because most of what they do is just absolute fucking garbage. And so, but we can only grade it off of what we have here, and this is better. And Mutiny did well, and I can only imagine, seems like it'll be doing well, and Hunger Games, like, Tanner, straight up, 4 out of 7 of these, I think, will be profitable and decently popular. That's pretty good, actually. I would say that's maybe for this set of 7 movies, and basing it on a Lionsgate grade, this is probably like a B+.
I'd give it a B+.
Yeah.
I'd give it a B+ for sure. Okay, last studio that we're talking about. It's very small, so don't worry. You're probably a little head about it, friend.
Amazon MGM didn't do anything this year for whatever reason.
They had 4 theatrically released movies.
Yeah, one of them did well. One of them did okay, if I recall about the Accountant. One of them is a fucking
the Accountant quick.
Massive failure after The Hunt in terms of the money they put into it. That movie, oh my god, that movie made no money. And I actually know nothing about Sarah's Oil. Financially.
I don't think it was a hit. Well, The Accountant 2 made 65 domestic, 103 worldwide.
Over 100. That's fine. That's fine by me.
That's just fine.
I'll take $100 million.
Yeah. But should we say? I mean, your Amazon your Amazon MGM.
Yeah. Those.
See,
both of the.
I mean, considering that.
Yeah. Yes, I think so. Yeah.
They didn't have as big of any hit as Lionsgate had, so I feel okay putting it. I feel okay putting it at lower than theirs.
Yeah, because you also have to grade. I know I'm judging Lionsgate off those 7. I was saying that, but
yeah.
This was only 4 movies, an entire year. That is worth docking you points for. Like fucking.
Definitely.
Try.
So they are making more of an attempt in 2026, which doesn't look like it initially from the first film that we have here. But at CinemaCon in 2025, they basically made some sort of commitment that over the next couple of years, we'll be ramping up our theatrical sort of movie making attempts, and we'll be making an effort and trying to make big movies for movie theaters, which I think is commendable. I think it's a good move. So this is the first year where they're really trying to kick that into gear. Mercy, good lord, what the fuck? Moving on.
I think I said this last in our December video. I think there's a chance.
Yeah.
I think there's a chance, and I want the Oracle. The Oracle wants to say there's a chance.
Okay. All right. I'd be very disappointed if that's true. That's all I'll say. I'll be very disappointed in the American people. I've lived through some tough times with the American people in in nearly 25 years. This might be towards the top of the list if this is a hit.
What would you consider? Well, what's your bar for disappointment? Gross. Worldwide gross of Mercy.
Tucker, if this makes more than worldwide gross, 30.
I think it's absolutely going to pass that.
Worldwide. Okay. Let me think. Okay, fair enough. 50. Is 50 fair?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay. I think if it makes more than $50 million, it'd be like, what?
The Oracle
That's
says
crazy.
There's a chance.
Okay, fair enough. Crime 101. Very big cast on this. I just don't know if it breaks through the noise.
Who the fuck's making this?
Who is making it? Who's the director?
Yeah.
Tucker, don't ask me these kind of questions I don't know the answer to. I think it's kind of an anonymous kind of guy.
Yeah, but he's getting some fucking characters in this bitch.
It is crazy the kind of people that he's pulling in. This is Bart Layton.
Sure it is. You know what, Tanner? I bet he directs some fucking Amazon show that we've never heard of.
He probably. But look, Chris Hemsworth, Monica Barbaro, Barry Keoghan, Halle Berry, Nick Nolte, Mark Ruffalo, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Corey Hawkins. There's a lot of people in this.
Yeah. Shout out.
I just don't know if it, like I said, I just don't know if it breaks through the noise of it's like a crime action movie. Cool, man.
Didn't Mordecai have a good cast too?
Yeah, Mordecai had a good cast too. But the really important one we need to talk about is Hail Mary.
Project Hail Mary, if you're nasty.
Project Hail Mary. Project Hail Mary. Ryan Gosling starring, going to be on big IMAX screens, looking to be that kind of the first big see this in a movie theater movie of the year.
Yeah.
I think this hits.
I think it hits.
I think it works.
I do think it hits. Yeah. I don't think it'll be huge, but I think it'll be I saw that. That was really good.
Yeah, 100 million domestic, hopefully. I think that
sure.
I think a good marker for success.
Yeah. Let's look forward to that. And the Oracle says, yes.
Okay, good. The Sheep Detectives?
The Oracle says, under $12 million global.
Whoa. Under 12? Whoa.
The Oracle has spoken.
That's crazy. Okay, fair enough. I don't think this is a hit, so I won't argue with you too harsh. I think under 12 is harsh, but I won't argue with it. Masters of the Universe. June film. This is kind of their big summer film. Who is this? This is Noah Centineo. I got to pull up the cast on this one more time. But it's playing off of course, like the cartoon from the 80s. Are we still doing, like, banking on 80s nostalgia stuff?
I guess so. Well, I mean, Tanner, literally.
Okay.
What the fuck are you talking about?
What was the last, like, 80s nostalgia thing that, like, broke out at the box office? Not a continuation of, like, a series that started in, like, 2016 when we were really hitting this stuff hard.
Ghostbusters Afterlife, kind of?
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. But also, like, Ghostbusters was a movie that had a movie in 2016.
But
yeah, I'll take. But also, Afterlife
that was playing on nostalgia. Yeah.
Thank you, Tucker. Good point. Thank you. Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, I think this will be a disappointment.
Yeah. I don't understand why.
Sorry, it's not Noah Centineo, by the way. It's Nicholas Galitzine replaced him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And Jared Leto's in it, so it's box office poison. Next. How to Rob a Bank.
Tanner, by the way, Beetlejuice last year. And Naked Gun. Or Beetlejuice 2 years ago and Naked Gun. And Indiana Jones. And Beverly Hills Cop 4. We do get a lot
that
of
was
80s.
That was a Netflix.
I named 3 other ones that weren't.
Okay. Yeah. But, Tucker, does that make you feel confident about Masters of the Universe?
I mean, well, Indiana Jones was a flop, but Beetlejuice was one of the highest grossing movies of the year, and Naked Gun was a solid. And Tanner, kind of Little Mermaid, like
Tucker, Masters of the Universe, never been a movie. Well, it has been a movie, but, like, people don't know that.
Was there, like, a live action one?
Yeah, it was, like, in the 90s or something.
That's kind of interesting. I don't. The Oracle has no idea what to say about that.
Fair enough.
What the fuck is How to Rob a Bank?
I might have just got myself put on a watch list by Googling just How to Rob a Bank. I probably should have included movie 2026. A crew of bank robbers has been using social media to document heists that they have pulled off, leading to pursuit from the police. Sounds like I didn't know that was the plot summary. It sounds like it's a fucking Now You See Me movie, kind of, but not really. It's directed by David Leitch. Starring Nicholas Hoult, Anna Sawai, Pete Davidson, Zoe Kravitz.
It's decent
cast. Comes out in September.
Sure. But the Oracle says, nah, sorry.
Yeah, okay, I understand. Verity is going to be a big hit, I think. Colleen Hoover plus big star powers. I think this is the closest that we get to. What's the one?
It Ends With Us.
You know the one. It Ends With Us. Thank you.
Who's the star?
Anne Hathaway.
Oh, that's right.
Josh Hartnett. And who's the third guy in this?
There's another guy. There's 2 love interests kind of thing.
Uh-huh. Verity film directed by Michael Showalter, starring...
Oh, really?
Yeah, Michael Showalter. Oh, Dakota Johnson. There's another woman.
Oh. Yeah, that's going to be huge. The Oracle says, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And then, I Play Rocky. Tucker, have you heard about this?
No.
Can you assume from the title what it is?
I can put together something that I think is very confident in.
Why don't you tell me?
Is this a Stallone biopic? Not biopic, or a documentary, I guess?
No, it is a biopic of an actor playing young Sylvester Stallone making Rocky.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting enough concept. Yeah, we'll see. That's kind of cool.
I've heard from test screenings and stuff that apparently this is very good.
Cool.
What do we think? We gave them a C for 2025, 2026.
This is better.
This is way better. First of all,
and they have Project Hail Mary and especially Verity. I think both have very big potential. Master of the Universe feels to me like an Argyle style bomb. Maybe not as bad, but
I
mean,
can see that.
Not as bad of a bomb. Well,
especially in the middle of the summer, it might get swallowed up.
I really think
something
so.
Fierce.
Tanner?
Yeah.
Argyle 2. Lock it in. The Oracle says Argyle 2.
Okay.
The Oracle didn't know what to say about Master of the Universe, but the Oracle now knows, and it's call it Argyle 2.
Okay.
This is a B.
This is a B.
Yes,
that's fair. Okay. All right, Tucker. Lock in. Prepare for the fight of your life for our predictions. So we have the same 10 movies.
Yes.
Which we didn't have last year, but we did have in 2024.
Sure. Yeah, and we also have the same top 4, actually. Slightly different order, but not meaningfully so.
Okay. So I am in total agreement with you on the Toy Story thing. I think this movie makes easily over $1 billion, like $1.5 billion probably. I think it's
Pixar is Zootopia is making $1.5 billion.
Yeah, exactly. This is it's a summer season movie. My thing was like, is this as big as like Inside Out 2, which made fucking incredible, like $650 million domestic?
Domestic? Oh, that's actually interesting. And you know what? That might be kind of the sticking point here. Is again, what did I say at the beginning? I am ultimately kind of thinking about these in terms of their worldwide gross, and animated definitely skews much greater percentage-wise international versus domestic. And so that might actually be something where, like, if I had thought about that, I do think you're right, Avengers over Toy Story, but ultimately I'm not that worried about it. But also, to what you're saying, yes, I think so, and I think one of the major things that I think are going to make a massive selling point of this is the gang is back together, when that actually wasn't true with the last $1 billion Toy Story movie. It was really just a Woody movie with a bunch of new characters. Buzz was barely in that movie. Jesse had like 3 lines. And if you get the gang back together, like I think that's going to be kind of a nostalgia point.
I maybe should have put this at number 1, but also Avengers. We've never had any Marvel movie open over like the Christmas corridor, and this one is.
Yeah, it feels weird. It feels very, very weird, man. It feels very, very weird.
That's why I have it at my number 1, just because I think it can pull maybe an Avatar and leg out, but also. Avengers movies, MCU movies are far different movies than Avatar movies are. Like, they don't really have that rewatchability factor for people to go back 2-3 times. General audience people to go back and see it, or and stuff like that.
And
or
Avatar
they're far more front loaded than Avatar movies are.
I think that's the only thing of what you said I agree with.
sorry, yes. That's probably more what I meant when I was thinking about the concept of them making money up front. Avengers movies far more front loaded, but again, we've never had one open at this period. They always open like in the summer when there's a lot of competition that comes out after them.
Yeah.
So
and then Mario's going to be huge. They're going to put so much.
Sorry. I'm going to go through my numbers quick. Sorry, 700. I'm going to say 700 million for Avengers.
Okay. And
domestic.
Toy Story.
Toy Story 625.
Okay.
And Super Mario's Galaxy Movie 600.
All right.
Yeah.
I think there's really. Here's the thing. Like, which of these movies? Obviously, we have the same 10.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, they're going to be fucking popular. Like, we're not that worried about it. What about this do we even really need to discuss more deeply?
We could talk about the placements of. You have Mandalorian
Star Wars
and Grogu.
Jumanji?
Star Wars Jumanji seems to be where we disagree the most, it seems. I have them like at my number 9 and 10, and you have them at your numbers 5 and 6. Yeah. What are your... I was just basically looking at like the lowest grossing Star Wars movie, because I think Mandalorian and Grogu might be down there.
It certainly might be. I think the question is, how much do they lean into? Well, particularly in marketing, but also in the actual film. This being a sequel to streaming stuff, to series, because that has not paid off for them.
No,
specifically in the Marvel movies, as we saw with Thunderbolts and Captain America last year.
It's why I have it at my number 10. It's why I'm saying.
But here's the thing, Tanner.
Okay.
I say that, it's especially true of the narrative of the film, but I think it's even more true for the marketing. Because if you mostly just lean into it's a Star Wars movie in theaters, you haven't fucking done that in actually half a decade, and people, regardless of if they have seen all the shows or not, recognize Mandalorian and Grogu. They're one of the most popular and well-received elements of the Disney era Star Wars canon. And it's just a big fucking action movie, and you've got Baby Yoda in it. Like, I actually don't know if it really matters that it's a sequel to.
Yeah,
like, that's gonna hold it back, but I don't think it might not hold it back that much because there's equal push of like, oh, it's Star Wars, it's summer, I'm gonna go see a big fun movie, and I recognize those characters.
I haven't seen a Star Wars movie in fucking 7 years.
7 years, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I just think that, like, do people fucking care about The Mandalorian and Grogu? Like, obviously this is going to be a big hit with that Star Wars factor, but, like, you know, if people are like, I don't know, I watched this first season of The Mandalorian.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of the audience. I am buyer's remorse on having this hype. I think that
fair enough.
I would move it below Moana.
Sure.
Do we each get one move? How about that?
Yeah, sure.
We each get one move. If while talking through this, you want to move something somewhere else.
Okay, we'll talk about it. Okay, so I'll just go down. I'll just continue going down my list and say the domestic numbers here. Super Mario Galaxy movie, $600 million, a little bit more than the last one. Spider-Man Brand New Day, I'm gonna say $500 million. And then Moana, I'm gonna say $450. And then the Odyssey, $350. So all of these are basically either right around a little bit above like previous installments. Obviously, Spider-Man is different because the last one made fucking $800 million at domestic. It's not going to happen again. But it should be noted, maybe this is something we can talk about as well. My top 6 movies I'm predicting to make $1 billion worldwide.
Oh, wow. The Odyssey billion.
Odyssey billion.
Huh. Okay.
I think it is a more accessible global story than Oppenheimer was.
Oh, I think that's probably true. Yeah. But I also think that Roman history, Odyssey, Greek Odyssey, like mythology-ish stuff is not it's not what's the history of that being like a blockbuster thing? Like on occasion, I don't know. I just don't know if people like care that much.
What is the history of biopics about fucking Robert J. Oppenheimer type guys being nearly $1 billion movies?
Yeah. No, it certainly might be. Obviously, I still have it in my top 10.
Mm-hmm. Minions 3. I think that this series continues to just lightly drop off every single time. Yep. I have that making $350 million. Wait, I should change that because I have it making the same as the Odyssey. Let's bump the Odyssey up to fucking
360. Terry, you can just
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's the order that matters, doesn't it?
Because you're gonna be Tanner, you're gonna be wrong about the numbers.
I'm gonna be wrong. Dune Part 3, 325 at number 8. Again, same story, a little bit better than the last ones. Again, I just think they need to move it. I think they need to bite the bullet and move it. Swallow the pride and move it. Jumanji 3, 250, less than the others in the series. I should point that out. It's kind of the only thing I have here because that's what happened with the Next Level in 2019.
Sure.
It made less than...
Yeah, but also Jack Black's a much bigger star now. And I think that is why I have it at number 1. I think they're going to foreground Jack Black more than they ever have. And of course, he's been one of the main characters, one of the main 2 even, of all of the other ones as well. But I think that combined power is something that the other ones had, but they have it even stronger now.
Yeah. And then Mandalorian and Grogu, I'm going to say 225, which is right around a little bit above what Solo made, which is the lowest grossing like modern era Star Wars movie. I think Solo feels like a good comp for this movie.
Yeah, obviously the difference being this has a gap, and also it's straight up the actual characters. It was the actual characters, but it wasn't the same actors.
Same actor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I do think they're a little bit more different than maybe you're letting on.
Okay, fair enough. I was considering dropping Mandalorian and putting in Michael.
That can be your move.
I won't do it. I don't think I will. I think. Do I think a Michael Jackson
the Oracle
movie
says,
will make more
do it.
than a Star Wars movie in the summer?
Tanner, I kind of think you actually do think that.
That's what I initially had, and then I changed it.
The Oracle says, "Go with your gut, buddy."
Here's what I'll say. I think that Michael will be a bigger movie worldwide than Mandalorian and Grogu.
You're fucking off your rocker.
Tucker,
what?
Can I pull up some numbers for you?
Are you gonna show me the fucking Bohemian Rhapsody international box office?
Tucker, Star Wars movies don't do that crazily outsized.
Okay, fair enough.
Internationally, like Rise of Skywalker, 515 domestic, 560 international.
Sure.
Very similar. Since I compared it already, Solo: A Star Wars Story, 213 domestic, 179 international.
Okay.
Tucker, would you like to know the domestic international split for a little movie called Bohemian Rhapsody, which I know you said we have to stop comparing things to, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I know it's ridiculous.
Would you like to know? It is 216 domestic, very admirable. Tucker, $700 million internationally.
That's very interesting.
Michael Jackson, again, I continue to contend, is a as big star across the world. Maybe even bigger than Queen is globally.
All right, Tanner?
Yeah?
I think it's official. You are dropping Mandalorian and Grogu for Michael.
Fuck it, I'll do it. Why not?
Yes!
Fuck it, why not?
Because it's also just so much better to not have the 10 and also to have the bit keep going. It's so much better.
You gotta continue the bit. Now, I also get to hedge it because, again, this time you convinced me to do it.
Yeah, it's the Oracle, baby. It's not me, it's the Oracle.
I didn't need much convincing, to be fair.
Because you knew it to be true in your deep, dark soul. You believed the lie.
Now, Tucker, can you imagine how embarrassing that would be if that turns out to be true?
Oh, yeah.
For Disney?
Oh, yeah. And for me. And the Oracle.
Yeah, well, that's all right. I don't... again, we'll see. We'll see.
All right. Well, the final thing to say is...
Okay.
Do you think this is an up year compared to the last two? Correct?
Yeah, definitely.
Because you have $6 billion... Wow.
$1 billion.
And that would be... Yeah. What? There was 7 in 2019?
8.
8 in 2019? Yeah. So that'd be pretty close, and certainly, but obviously by far the biggest amount of movies, billion-dollar movies we've gotten since the pandemic. Oh, yeah. I think monetarily this will be an up year. I was not like crazy about this year for movies. Mm-hmm. Obviously, still some award stuff I need to catch up on, and I might even like something like Zootopia too. But I'm a man full of hope, Tanner. I'm a man full of hope, and I hope that this year of movies is great.
Mm-hmm. Also, we don't know. Quick addendum: I was wrong. 9 billion-dollar movies in 2019.
Oh wow!
Yeah, the top 9 were all $1 billion, and then of course Avengers Endgame made like 2.8. Yeah. So.
Any closing thoughts?
Okay. Tucker, this is a really long video, and I appreciate you sticking out this marathon run with me. I appreciate the audience for potentially watching this whole thing, and do I get to plead some buyer's remorse if Michael ends up being a flop? Probably not, but I will try anyways.
What? Well, no, you can. That's fine. The Oracle allows it.
The real bet, let's just reaffirm this. The real bet we have going is, will it end up top 15 domestic highest grossing films? Yes. That is the real bet.
Well, I mean, this is also a pretty solid bet.
This is also a big bet.
Yeah.
This is also a big bet. God, making more than Star Wars. Why did I let you talk me into that? Okay, folks, that's it. Let's get out of here. No more herming and hawing. Thank you so much for watching this extremely long video. We appreciate it, and we will see you next time.